Mic check. 1 2 1 2 again. We're working. We're live. Hello, gamers. Welcome back. I've got the tie on today, even though I do not have the shirt on because I still haven't washed it. It's literally sat here on the floor behind me, so I do apologise. But we've got half of the setup today. It's looking rather camp, actually, but it's fine. It's 2025. Can be who you want to be. So, we are here. We're at round 5. We are in Latvia. Today we are at Kegums, or Kegums, depending on where you're from. Your pronunciation might be a little bit different. We have a very, very fun sand track for you today. We have got, I mean, it's not as rough as Sardinia. It's still sand, but it's just a different type of sand. So in Sardinia, everything was very, like, rolled off, big rollers. Whereas around here, it's a bit more on the choppy side of things. So it's just going to needed slightly different setup to how Sardinia would to keep going fast. And the boys are just coming to the end of their qualifying session right now. And we'll see what the times are looking like. Now, if you saw on Instagram and TikTok, my best lap that I tried to get was a 54.2. I imagine the fastest boys around here will be high 52s, maybe. So maybe like a second and a half quicker than I got, because watching that lap back, there was actually a good amount of time to gain. They might even be in the low 52s, we'll see. If they're in the 51s already, that is just absolutely disgusting. These boys are so fast. Hello to both Kyle and Joe. Thank you very much, Kyle. I appreciate you. And hello, Joe, as well, if you're sitting there watching with him. I think you boys are going to enjoy the racing today. I was happy with this, because I felt like I actually had some input into this track. And I think BK's end result here is a really, really good job. There was a couple bits of the track that I asked to be changed ever so slightly to make for better racing overall, just multiple line choices, and he was very, very open to the feedback and made some changes accordingly. So we'll see how it goes. I think there's going to be a lot of different lines used today. Not so much for NA, because by the time the NA boys have their race, they've found every line as fast as, even if it's just by like 0.1. So they all want to use that. Whereas in EU, the boys are still kind of learning the track on the fly, even in the races. They'll do some searching around, and yeah, it should be a good time. I'm looking forward to the racing today. We've got, on the 450 side of things, that's what I'm covering today. 450s only, both Moto 1 and 2. We have got Rax on a 20-point lead in the championship right now. He sits on 188 points, followed by Tyler, who is on 168, and then Cam is only 4 back from that on 164. Then we have to go a little bit further back to find Jake, who's in P4. He got promoted to that P4 after last week's racing. And then in P5, we've got Boy, who is a newly assigned Club MX FXR rider. And we also have JS7 now, who is a newly signed Club MX FXR rider. So I'm hoping for some good stuff today and keep on the good racing that we've had all year long. I think the top 3 in the championship will still be the top 3 on the track today. However, if we cast our brains back to round number 2 at Sardinia, Mr. Tyler J, who was the points leader at that point, had a pretty woeful round as far as his expectations are concerned. And I have spoken with Tyler, and he says he's just not the best of sand riders, just doesn't vibe with it too well. Whereas on the flip side, if we take Rax, who's leading the championship right now, Rax does like his sand. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes today, see if Tyler can put in a better performance in his last sand round, and it should be very, very good stuff. Would you want a slower or faster rebound to compensate for this kind of fast chop? I always used to think that it was slower. However, if you have a faster rebound, then it basically lets the suspension reset itself before you hit the next bump. So on sand tracks, I tend to have quite a fast rebound on my bike. In fact, because this isn't any like secretive setup that I've got here, I can show you the suspension that I was running. So if we compare this to default, you'll see on the front, I've got 18 rebound on the front. So I think that's, yeah, very, 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 very quick. So it's almost as quick as it can go. And then on the rear, I've got 18 as well. So yeah, if anybody's struggling, if you ride a KTM in outdoors and you needed a sand setup on the KTM, then by all means, give it a go. Cam is saying this track is impossible. It's going to be a crash fest. Cam, what if I told you that it was harder before I asked it to be toned down a little bit? How does that make you feel? Because I've actually thoroughly enjoyed the track so far. So in terms of the little changes that we've made, it's little things like, which corner is it? Here. So as you exit this left-hander, because it's a sand track, people will kind of want to treat this as two corners, or one corner rather than 2. So it's not like you do a 90 and then you go straight and then you do a 90 again. The fast boys are going to want to drift out wide and then cut across again and go this way. However, some of these bumps were a bit too peaky, so if you tried cutting across and straight lining it, the front end would just wipe. So I qualified P2. Oh. Wait, what's the time then? Because I thought you boys would be getting into the 52s. Let's have a look. What we're rocking with. Or are you saying that I would have qualified P2 in your group? Oh yeah, the times aren't in for me just yet. Or are you saying you qualified in P2? You was at 54.6. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, to be fair, I did have the track for, like, I think I'd had it for a good hour or so when I ran my lap. So it's not the end of the world. I want to say I probably ran like a 55 within the first 30 minutes of just playing it. But I am a sand track enjoyer, as you know. I love the sand. And one thing that I found, bearing in mind, I don't have a specialised Yamaha sand setup, but I wasn't vibing around this track on the Yami. And then when I went over to the KTM, I was having a much better time with it. So yeah, not sure what that's all about. But I mean, Cam, if you cast your brain back to Southwick last year, you know that I've done really well in that race there. I'm using the same sand setup as I had there. So maybe it's just a goated setup for the sand. We shall see. But yeah, KTM just feels like it moves forwards more in the sand for me rather than the Yami, whereas the Yami feels a lot better on tracks like Lugo, for example. My Yami time on Lugo is multiple seconds quicker than my KTM times on Lugo, which doesn't really make too much sense, to be honest, but it's about what you're comfortable on at the end of the day, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes overall. Is the Jan riding today? I saw someone say, let's go Janster. Tyler got a 53.6. Oh, okay. No, that makes me feel quite good about my time then. Nice. There's definitely time to gain for my lap. Yeah, I'm hoping Troy's riding today. So as the season's gone on, Troy has just got better and better. So we've done 4 rounds so far, and he got 1 point, then he got 4 points, then he got 20 points, and he got 29 points last round at round 4. So we'll see if he can improve that again this week. Maybe get up into the 30-plus point gang, which will be difficult. It'll be difficult because once you get outside the top 3, there's probably like 10 to 15 guys that can all just rotate positions with each other. So it all depends on how good of a start they get. And on this track, the start won't be as important because there's going to be a lot of mistakes from people. It just depends who can keep it up on 2 wheels the most and just keep that momentum going around the track. So I am intrigued to see how it will race overall. Thank you very much, sorry. No, I'm not racing this Sonder. I commentate this GP season. I just want to try and get some commentating practice under my belt, and it'll be nice to get a full season's worth of commentating done, just so I can get into the swing of things and see how it goes, and then hopefully try and put my name forwards when MTG eventually comes out to try and be the commentator on that stuff, get my name in the hat early. So it helps to get some practice in. Renault crash was crazy. Yeah, there was a few wild crashes today, weren't there? A few of them were pretty wild. Hope Geisser's okay. Yeah, Geisser's one was brutal as well. I saw some people talking about like the mounds of dirt off the side of the track, but to me, I don't mind them being there to stop people from just riding off the edge of the track to find a completely smooth line. But maybe don't have a rock solid mound of dirt, maybe just have some bales instead. That he still would have crashed if he hit, but it wouldn't have bucked him as hard as he got bucked, if that makes sense. No, I'm not downloading any more stuff now, Pump. I don't want to have to keep closing and reopening the game and putting files in. So if you're doing 450s again next week, I will definitely have it for next week, but it's all finished for now. All finished for today. Love the new hat. Thank you very much, Cognizant. I done a bit of DIY on it. Do I still have it? There it is. Let's move all the cans on my desk. So you have like the little button that goes on top of it, so it sits right in the middle, and it was right where the headset band sits, so it was quite painful as it went down. So I've done some DIY, took that out, and now we're good to go. Lovely stuff, just as comfortable as the Fox one. Oh, so what we're saying, Cam, is you're just a choke artist in qualifying. We'll see. But no, it's just the GPs that I'm commentating. I'll be racing, well, it actually depends how the whole season goes. I'll definitely be racing the start of the MX season, just to have the #1 plate for the last time in my career. And we'll see how it goes from there. There's a lot of question marks, to be fair, because it all depends on how MTG goes and when MTG releases. See what happens at that point. Hello, Jacob. 250s running a 157. Yeah, a lot of people seem to keep being quite surprised by how fast lap times the 250s are running. But I'll be honest, these 250s are probably the closest to the 450s they've ever been. They are very, very quick. And once you actually have your momentum up, as long as you can keep the momentum there, it's not crazy. Like, the 450s aren't that much quicker on the top end of things. It's more the acceleration in the bottom end. Seen Kelso's recent video? No, I do not have anything to do with that man. I'm pretty sure I told YouTube to stop recommending me videos from him. Because I'm that petty. Yeah, Cam, so clearly you've got the one lap pace today, as we've seen. And sounds like you need to just chill out a little bit. Because it's a sand track, lap times will vary quite a lot. If you can just not go a second a lap faster, then you should be fine. You shouldn't crash as many times. And if you do have a stinky moto today, make sure you upload it for us this time, unlike Majora. But for Opera or Google, I just use Opera. I'll be honest, I don't really prefer one over the other. I used to just use Opera mostly for the built-in ad blocker and stuff, but you can do just as much with Google anyway. Bro said I gate-kept quick shift and he's only made a video on it, not like Aiden, Neon, etc. all made one the Mong. But I haven't gate-kept quick shift. Because I can't quick shift down, that's the reason why I rode KTM for so long. I've never been able to do that on any bike other than the bikes that have quick shift already. Oh well. Bro's trying to farm views, that's all he does. That's all he does, unfortunately. That is what Mr. Kelso is all about. And unfortunately, the way YouTube works is even bad views are views at the end of the day, and it will build traction. That's just the average TikTok brain, unfortunately. But it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. At least I can put myself in a position to say that I am worthy of farming views from. Whereas I don't think it would work the other way around. If you're in a race group, does that mean you qualified? If you're in top 40, then you qualified. If you're outside of the top 40, then no, unfortunately. Oh, here we go, times are up. Let's have a little look. Right, so we've got Tyler on a 53.4, almost an entire second quicker than P2, which is pretty good. Then Rax is in the 54. That's literally like bang on the lap time that I did in my video there. So, well, in my Instagram and TikTok, if you want to go and see. We got Pump in here with a 54.3, very close. Mr. Pumpacasso, I need to make sure that I remember Tim is Pumpacasso. I know some people are going down the, or is it, what? I thought Pumpacasso was Finland. I thought Pumpacasso and Yoku were both from Finland, unless I was mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe it's Belgium. He showed proof of you having, you not having clutch smoothing checked off. Hang on, let's have a look at this. Not having clutch smoothing checked off. It doesn't let me... Oh, you can't even see it. Hang on. Display capture. Here we go. It doesn't... Hang on. Can you see my... It's not... What do I do here? You have clutch smoothing off, but it's on by default. Does it not just matter what button you have for clutch? You have to change your files to turn it off. It needs to be on an axis to use smooth, but buttons you can't. Like, without going too unpolitically correct, because I'm sure he'll probably clip it and try and make another video, because all it seems to be good for these days. The guy's pretty retarded, I'll be honest. Yeah, there you go. Ballsy just said it's off as well. So, unfortunately, the issue is, if you are like Mr. Kelso and you try and make just these hype videos, it does appeal to a certain genre of viewer. It tends to mostly be for the TikTok brains, but unfortunately it is what it is. You try not to entertain it too much. And for like example, I never would have had any idea unless you boys told me today, because I just try and keep myself very, very clear from that. The weirdest part about the whole situation with him is he used to be normal. Like, he'd come into stream, he'd gift members and all that, and just talk like a normal human being. And then one day out of the blue, he just decided to switch up. And then would kind of give him the same energy back, and I guess he just treats it as now he's the outcast trying to prove a point all the time. So, yeah, I don't understand it. But we will try and keep Mr. Kelso's negativity out of this, since this is a commentary stream today. If it was just normal, like, public lobbies eliminations, then yeah, by all means, I'd feel free to rip into him as much as possible. But we'll try and change it up today. We'll keep things nice. How can you have a custom background in... What, do you mean in the main menu? There's mods on MXB mods. Or, like, this is... this dark stuff here is a mod called Dark UI. Right, let's have a look. Right, Cupcake's alive. Main of... Oh, Jesus Christ, the lobbies are up already. You boys didn't tell me. It was up 2 minutes ago. Right. Did I end up saying anything about my last race? No, I haven't reported racks at all. However, in the aerial general, there was a lot of clips from various people's FOVs of racks not being the smartest of individuals on the track in that race. So I don't think I have to do anything. I think the mods are just going to take it upon themselves to take action, whatever that action may be. So, yeah. What we got to type in here? MXBGP? Yes. Right. Main, join as spectator, so I don't take up a gate. And we're good. We're good to go. Yeah, apparently, well, I say apparently, I had quite a good time on the Yami last Supercross race. And it is a noticeable difference when I switch between Yami and KTM. The Yami just seems to have a lot more grip than the KTM does. So I think the KTM is more agile, so it turns quicker, but the Yami is a lot more stable, and I think it's got a faster, like, top end. So especially on tracks like the outdoors tracks, where you want more of that top end and high speed, it works really, really well. Thank you very much, Kimper. Comment section says the same, went from clickbait to cringe. Yeah. There's definitely two ways you can approach the whole YouTube thing. And one of them is trying to build a fan base, and I hate the word fans because we are literally just people playing MX bikes at the end of the day. But try and build a fan base / community that will stay with you. The other one is trying to create like hype pieces or videos that just generate clicks, which all the ones you do will get new faces and the views in that regards, but it doesn't build people that will keep coming back. So there is definitely two ways you can go about making the YouTube career. Both of them work. Both are absolutely fine. I just could never see myself being in a situation where I intentionally try and piss everybody off just to get attention. So I prefer keeping it just a lot more chill. But I'm happy to bring the same energy back if that energy gets thrown my way. Yeah, custom-made MX Bikes tyre. Oh, that might be a little bit too much. That might be a little bit too cringe. A bit too much for me. It's currently... Yes, it is Monday. It is Monday indeed. You are unforgettable. Everyone... no, we got a couple of Yamis in it. A couple of Yamis. We got a couple of KTMs in it. It's not all Yamaha, but there's a reason people go towards things. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do to all the other bikes. They could all have exactly the same speed, but if one handles just a tenth better than another one, that bike will end up being the meta. So comfortability will take you so far, but then when you're at the top of the pro levels and every tenth of a second counts, you do want to just ride the best bike. And I think everyone's kind of agreed that because the beta is banned for being too quick, the Yamaha is the next best thing. He deleted your reply within 5 minutes. It sounds like he's going down a very... And this isn't to really stir up shit, because I've got no issue with him anymore. It's just not my cup of tea. It sounds like he's going down the similar sort of path that Spencer might still be, I don't know, but used to be, which is any negative comment on the YouTube channel just gets deleted. So it looks like it's all positive all the time. I'm just commentating today. Yeah, just commentating. For the GP series, I prefer to commentate. Well, I say prefer. I like commentating. The Supercross season really put me off racing because it wasn't going well at all. But now these GP tracks have come out, I really enjoy them. But then I think if I was racing them, I would just be like P4 every single race. I don't think it would be that exciting anyway. At least this way we get to see those fast, like really fast boys at the top do their thing. So I think it's all good. All good fun. Right, we're going to turn the map off. We're going to turn the speed off. We're going to turn the standings off there. And then, right, tab does that. That brings up people's names. So whenever the gate's going to drop. What are the track cameras like today? Oh, do I have high bandwidth? I have it on high rather than very high. We'll see if that... we'll change it to very high now. Yeah, that'll be fine. But yeah, it's very silly for you to throw out blank accusations on something if you don't know the facts, because... Oh, shit, I've just... I don't know if that was 0-0. I'll have to check my own video. But he's saying stuff about the clutch and the smooth and that. I can't do anything with it, and it sounds like you guys can't either. And you're saying you guys never change your files. And I have shown you my files before. I'll show you, if I do display capture, I'm happy to show off anything at any time. And I can show you exactly what I've changed on my file side of things. So profile, lens, controls, wait, what? Controls. There we go. Open with notepad. So if I go down to my upshift, is it upshift? No, my downshift button and my clutch button, they should be the same. So we've got shift down. You might not even be able to read this. Can I? Oh, there we go. Can zoom in. So shift down. You can basically see all these different numbers and letters. They all just correlate to a button on your controller. It's exactly the same as my shift down button is, because I've made it so you can't even see my controller. I don't have to shut off the throttle to shift down. But you can see on any other bike that isn't an Austrian bike, I can't quick shift up, because that's just not how my controllers are set up. I can probably even show you my browsing history over the last 48 hours if you want to, because I don't search for the X-rated content on my PC. That's more for my mobile device. That is on my phone. Oh, 100%, sorry. Yeah. He definitely appeals to the people that aren't that knowledgeable about the game in general, because you're not going to know any better. If you're new to a game and you watch, and the first experience you see is, oh, people are cheating and doing this, that, and the other, then it drives that narrative even more. But yeah, you can't help stupid at the end of the day. You will just end up wasting your breath. You can only argue your points so far. If someone just doesn't have, if they haven't developed their frontal cortex enough to be able to have a logical conversation, then you're never going to win an argument or conversation with them, because they're never going to listen to your side of the story. Is Troy should be racing unless he's doing more schoolwork. What number's the Jan? I don't see him in there unless he's the last one to join. Maybe he's not racing. Which would be a shame. I think he's in like 12th in the championship right now, so he could have made up some good points. No, I don't see him though. We've only got 39... Yeah, we've only got 39 people in here as well. Okay, right. Let's see how the racing is going to go today, gamers. We're going to bring up this on the left. Nice. And we have got Tyler on his new bike and gear, which I downloaded again today. He's on gate 1. Looking at gate 1, you do have to hook a left before you turn right. So we'll see how that plays out. Exactly the same with Rax there to the left of him. And then Pumpakasu's got the long blonde hair. Okay, lovely stuff. Pumpakasu looks like, and can look like, they've got the prime gate there. It will depend on how much these two boys move over. There you go, we've got Boy on his new Club MX ride. We've got Jake, Aiden here, JS7, Breezy. So, the revs are up. The gates are down. Off these boys go. We're just going to slowly back it up here. It looks like Tiger's got a great jump. Tiger should be able to move over here. Rack's going in a bit deep. A lot of people going in deep. And we have the first jump start of the day. No, so, red flag. They'll reline them up. They'll rack them up again. And we will go again for a second time. Tiger probably quite happy with that. Because on my screen, Tiger had a clear hole shot. And then the boys on the inside just didn't really use their brakes. The issue that you have around a sand track like this is you have to brake a lot earlier than you think. The wheels just drift out from underneath you very, very easily. So I doubt many of these gamers will have actually done any practice starts on this sand, but we'll see how it goes. We shall see how it goes. Top left, I will do that for you. Thank you for reminding me. There we go. There we go. 450, moto number 1, well, moto 1.5. We'll see how it goes. Everyone's on the Yami at the moment. It's just the fast, well, the best overall bike, I think. It's very fast in a straight line. It seems to track really well, gets good grip, and the handle's pretty decent on it as well. So that seems to be why everyone's going for it. Right, attempt number 2. We'll see if Tiger can do it again. Much better jump from TJ that time. Tiger is towards the front. Everyone's going to disappear and then come into play. Tiger drifting wide. Spink going to get your whole shot for today. Lovely stuff from Spink right there. I mean, on my screen, he had the front wheel cross. And a great start from Rax. JS7 on the new Club MX ride. He's in P3. Bossman Ols is going to be very happy with that. Tim, aka Pump. Shall I still call him Pumpakasu, or shall I start calling him Tim from now on? Either way, Tim's going to cross the line in P4, just scrubbing past. No, he scrubbed a little bit too low for JS7 there. So we will see how long Mr. Spink can hold the lead for, because he's crossed the line already. I don't know if that classes as a lap lead, or if it will be from this point forwards. But Rax is probably going to look to make a very early pass right here. Where is his championship competitors? We have to wait. Cam's in about P7. J Talon going through. We've got some carnage on the downside of this jump. How are you meant to dodge all this? Oh my god, there's people all over the place. More death, more carnage. Eurus, not a great start for Eurus. He had a really good round last week, not so much this time round. So we've got Ulmer. Oh, no, we haven't. We've got, oh, Lucas Goday. Not doing too well there from Lucas. Let's go back towards the front. Have we still got... No, Marley must have gone down. So Rax has taken the lead. Tim in second, Jake in third. Very good start again for Jake. He's been coming into his own these last couple of races. Spink now dropping back into P4. We've got some lines that cross over on each other here. We'll see if that makes for any interest in racing later on. We've got JS7 in 5th position and Cam in 6th right now. Decent start for Cam. Rex isn't too far in front, so he'll be happy with that. He can still see him on his screen. Tim going down. He's going to give up 2nd place and promote Jake into that P2 position. JS7 now in 3rd, so we've got 2 Club MX FXR machines inside the top 3. Ols is going to be licking his lips right now, and Rex is going to make his way over the Zero Raceway arch. Is that got... Oh, it's got reflections on it. I thought it was semi-see-through. I was about to say, that's quite cool. And there is your 2nd place in the points, Mr. Tyler J. He finds himself into P7, dodging Marley there. Quite lucky for Tyler. Marley didn't find himself his bike drifting too wide, so not too shabby. Trying to keep it. There's going to be 2 ways going around this flat corner here. People are either going to be nice and smooth and try and track slowly, or they're just going to Tokyo drift their way around the entire turn. So it looks like for the most part, people are being nice and smooth. Oh, Davey getting a bit loose on the exit there. Big Davey van der Volker. We've got Pumpakasu coming through in P4. So Rex already a pretty comfortable lead at the end of the first lap. Is almost 6 seconds in front. Cam has just found his way around Jake into P2. So, oh, Pumpakasu on the inside of Jake there. Jake's going to go from 2nd to 5th in the space of 2 corners. Probably going to get a second or 2 of cuts as well from going off the track there, but nothing you can really do about it. You're basically a passenger at that point. You just have to rejoin the track when it's safe to do so. Are all of these boys sending the wall jump? They are indeed. As you can see, we are 1 lap deep. The erode is already eroding. So we'll see if this is a viable line by the end of the race, or if people are going to have to start checking up. But that is probably the most fun jump on the entire track. It's not difficult at all to try and gauge how far you have to send it. You just basically send it, because there's lots of wiggle room. Oh, Davey going down. That's an unfortunate catch on the camera there. Mr. Santa Hat there, Odin, is working his way through. Breezy is just on the outside of a top 10 right now. He's in around 13th, 14th position, with Crispy just in front of him. We've got Danny of Team Fury Esports right here. Tyler has gone down. Tyler making some early mistakes, which are going to cost him throughout the course of this race. It's starting to look like this might be a repeat of Sardinia already, which he's not going to be very happy with whatsoever. So we've still got Cam in 2nd place right now. He's only lost a 10th to Rex in the lead over the course of this lap. Now, I'm wondering if inside Cam's head right now, he's looking at the time difference, looking that he's losing time, and if he's just going to send it, or if he's going to be comfortable just trying to run this pace and hoping that Arax is the one that makes mistakes and then let the race come to Cam. Because this race is going to be in 2 parts. You're going to have your sprint laps at the beginning of it, as we have right now, and then as you can see, oh my Christ, this track is already beaten to shit and it's only 2 laps in. This, boys, is going to get interesting. I have no idea what they've cranked the erode to for this, but this is going to get brutal by the end of it. So yeah, definitely, as I was saying, the race is going to come in 2 stages. You've got these initial sprint laps at the beginning, and then you've got to try and basically race the track by the end of it. And Rex did make a mistake in that last sector of the last lap. He lost about 2 seconds to Cam. So again, Cam's going to be looking at these times intermittently throughout the course of the race and hopefully adjust his speed accordingly. Pumpakasu's still sitting in the P3 position. I'm not sure if he's moved up to the 450 class full time now, or if he's just dabbling in it from time to time. As I know, on the Supercross side of things, he does still do a lot of 250 stuff, but that might be changing moving forwards. Jake is back up into P4 after his little off-track excursion earlier, and J7 in P5 over the bars. He got such a good respawn there on top of that wall rather than being stuck on the front of it. So Tyler is now going to find himself up into P5. He's only 15 seconds down off the lead. So a lot of racing left to do here. Are these boys going middle or are they going around the outside? Middle seems to be the preferred line for now. It's definitely quicker than the outside is, but we'll see how rough that gets by the end of the race. Boy is in 8th place. That is 3 Club MX riders with inside the top 10, and the other Club MX rider, Aiden, is currently in 18th, so not a good start to the race for Aiden at all. If you cast your brains back to round 2 at Sardinia, Aiden did unfortunately rage quit both of those motos. So it might just be a sand thing, it might have just been an unlucky race thing. We'll see if he sticks it out through the course of this. And we've got Breezy in 14th place right now. So we could see a world where 5 Club MX riders get inside the top 10. That's usually a Star Racing Yamaha kind of thing, not a Club MX thing, but the roles have reversed inside the virtual dirt video game. This is discussing all Yammies. Yeah, there's not much difference in the way of colourways. Even when you download people's skins, it's usually a blue front end, white back end on a Yami. Yeah, but at the pro level, that's always how it's going to be. Let's move our attention a little bit further forward because there are some more mistakes coming out from Rax. Is he down? Rax has gone down fully. Rax has given up the lead to Cam. Will it let me reverse it? It will do. Let's see if we can find... No, it's not. It's going to be boofed because of the bandwidth again. So Cam has found his way into the lead. He's currently 24 points down in this championship. We have got another 5 rounds of racing to do after today is all finished. So that is plenty of ground to be able to make up. Even if he won and gained, what is it, 6 points on P2, if he went 1-1 here out and Rax went 2-2 every race, plenty of rounds to do it in. So Mr. Box might be finding his mid-season form right now. He's definitely had the chance to win some races this year, and he got very, very hard done by last round at Lugo. If any of you remember, in the first race, he went from first with I think it was 10-second lead on the last lap to finishing second and losing it by 6 seconds. He lost 16 seconds in the very last corner from running out of fuel. And I wonder if he's learnt from that mistake today, because he would have learnt from his lesson in Moto 2 and he finished that race no problem. However, we are at a sand track today. And if you are familiar with MX bikes and how the fuel works in this game, because you are wide open for just so long around these sand tracks, you tend to use about another litre or so of fuel over the course of the entire race. So we'll see if these boys have prepared for that, filled the bikes up enough, and we'll see if anybody does run out by the end. But Cam doing some solid work. Rax has gained a little bit of time over the last lap, but Cam might just be playing it patient, playing it smart right now. Tyler has worked his way up into P3. He's made his way around Tim and Jake. Jake's still sitting in that P4 spot. Him and Tim going back and forth over the course of this race so far. So as I predicted before the racing started, the top 3 in the championship are top 3 on the track. Marley getting a little bit sketchy off the track right there, but he's doing a very good job. He'll be happy with his He says he's in P8. He must just have a lot of cuts because he's not P8 at all in terms of track position. But we're coming through here in 9th place. And then we've got JS7 has dropped down a little bit. JS7 finds himself in 11th now, just outside the top 10. Breezy finds himself in 13th. We've got Yoku going through. Aiden's making some good progress. So he was 18th just a lap ago. He's now in 15th place, knocking on the doors of the man straight out of Finland, Mr. Yoku Simalainen, who is in 14th. Aiden getting very sketchy there. Manages to save it though. He's going on his way along this straight. I don't know if this bit of the track here will get that rough, because everyone's going to take the same line, but it's a straight line. So even if it does get a little bit of a trench built, it shouldn't cause people too many issues, maybe getting kicked over the bars. You know, someone who has made a good amount of progress so far is Eurus. He was in second to last on lap number 1. He now finds his way up into the 23rd position. So 16 or so positions that Eurus has made up already over the course of this. He's been having a very, very good season so far, the man out of Russia. We've then got Davey, Eggshit, Blue X, Adam Ertz going up the inside of Blue right there. Pumba working his way through as well. Dr. Geo, hold on to her, buddy. Geo going down. Olma going through as well. TH Good to see people using this middle rut. This is one of them corners on the track that I was scared it would be outside only. But as you can see, a very even amount of usage here in these two corners. And then we've got Fast Emil coming through at the back here. Give some of these people at the back some love also. We've got Vendrami here, who's had a couple of incidents with leaders over the course of this season. We'll see if he can get it together and obey the blue flag properly today. And Jen working his way through also. Not a great ride from Jen this race so far. Again, Jen just might not be a sand guy, but he's had some very, very good results over the course of this season. Although I'm not going to go into drama. I was saying it could be somebody else playing for him, but that is not confirmed or denied. Right, where are our leaders gone? There's no... Oh, wait, we're really not that far away from lapping people, and we're only 10 minutes through into this race. So Rax has now found his way back around Cam. So Cam, the one making the mistakes now. We're going to sit on this for a while, because Cam's a very, very interesting player to watch, because he's absolutely insane 90% of the time, and then 10% of the time, he's wadding himself over the bars. So we'll see if he's found a setup that works for him, and we'll see if he can make or lose any time on Mr. Rax. Let me give the track cameras a quick go today, see if they're working okay. We can follow this just for a little bit and see how that works out. We'll remove this just for the time being, as it does go over in the background. Listen, boys, I don't want you to go and give Kelso any more hate than he already gives himself. There's no need for it. You're welcome to leave your own opinions on stuff, but don't, just because you're a fan of mine, don't go and give other people shit, even if it's very evident that it's deserved sometimes. Mr. Joseph Moore, he's appeared. Joseph, you're actually here quite early today. I know you usually pop in right at the very end of the streams. Thank you very much, my man. I know you're always good for it. I really do appreciate you as always. Did I look back as Cam crashed? God, the timing's absolutely horrendous. Thank you very much, Joseph. You're an absolute legend. Welcome back to the stream. Hope you enjoy yourself today. We've got some fairly interesting racing so far. So the two boys at the front, they haven't really been in a battle as such with each other, but they keep switching positions just from making mistakes. And if we go down to the ground real quick, we can see the track is already starting to go away, and we are only 12 minutes deep into Moto 1 when both of these are 30 minutes plus 2. There's a point where the track does get faster, and I'm wondering if that's happened already or if it's going to happen further into this race. But as you can see, I mean, it probably looks more brutal than it actually is because of just how dark the bits of the track that get ridden on are. I have a feeling that the dark shadows make it look rougher than it is, but we don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens over the course of this race. Thank you very much, Grimain, for becoming a member of the channel. Thank you for making Ricky come as well. I'm sure he appreciates it. The boat always loves a good come. So we've got these boys at the back right here. Lucas had such a good performance last round in Spain, and I think Wes has nerfed him on the naming side of things, as he was breaking the 2-name convention rule. I think he had 3, maybe 4, and that seems to have nerfed his speed as well. He's not having a great race today. And if we go back just a little bit, there is already your race leader. So we are going to find our way into lappers within the next lap or so. Rax has got a 4.5 second lead right now over the box in P2. And then we have to go a bit further back. Tyler is making some really good ground up. So Tyler's had a few solid laps where these two in front of him are making mistakes and he hasn't. He was 15 seconds down just about 2 or 3 laps ago. He now finds himself only 10 seconds behind. So we'll see if he can carry on doing some good work there. This section right here is going to get sketchy. This bump is going to get bigger and bigger on the takeoff, and people's back ends are going to get kicked by it. And then they're also landing down into some rough stuff also. We'll see if that continues or if people are going to start singling their way through. Jake is in P5 as well. Again, you can't be unhappy with it. And Jake has referred to himself many times, as I do, in the same way to myself, as best of the rest, where you just can't quite touch them really fast boys at the front of the pack, but then you're usually leading everybody else. You're sat in that P4, P5 or so position, but he's here quietly going about his work today. He's had a good start and he's sitting there. We've got a bit of a no man's land right here between P5 and P6. At 6th place is Mr. Vibes. So Vibes having a really good race so far. I don't know if I've seen Vibes this far up the pack so far this year. Boy, again, having a very good ride on that new... Oh, gets into Marley there. I don't think that's anything that Boy done wrong. I think that was just 2 lines coming together. You naturally want to drift out wide there to open up that corner. So I think Marley should have just given a little bit more room. But Marley's still having a good race, even with a few mistakes here. Breezy has been going about his work. He was P14 when we checked in on him earlier in this race. He's now in 8th place, and that's going to relegate Marley down to 9th. We then have Cooper rounding out our top 10, and then the Finnish man, Mr. Joku Simulainen, in P11. This is what I mean about these lines coming together here. You can see this middle line on the outside. If someone could make a very aggressive pass right here, make a statement pass and put someone down to the ground if they wanted to, Ivan Jr., lovely OG name we love seeing, still doing his work on a weekly basis. Then we've got Tiger here, who I think should have had the whole shot, but it wasn't meant to be. The universe has not lined up for him today. And then Eurus again, working his way through. He's in 25th place right now, so we're outside the points in this position. But got to give people just a little bit of time as they deserve it. Davey going through, Ian going through. Cam has taken the lead down. Oh, Rex must have gone down again, because the lead has gone from 5 seconds and 11 seconds to 2.5 to 7.5. So we've got Rex and we've got Cam in the same frame. And if we look a little bit further back, we've got Tyler as well. They're working their way past lappers. They've got past Emil right there. I might watch the Tyler for a little bit here, since we can kind of see all three of these at the same time. And we'll see if any mistakes happen. Because even one bad... Oh, I say that as Tyler goes down. Commentators curse. Oh, he's not going to be happy with me when he goes back and watches this race. Cam jumping into some bales there. Just trying to get over the rough stuff. Trying to treat this. The best way of going across the rough stuff in this game is almost a bit like Jet Lawrence-esque. Is just jumping your way over the rough rather than hitting each and every one. If you want to bulldog your way around a track like this, you have to pretty much hope your suspension is on point. Other than that, you just need to try to hop, skip and jump your way, double, triple your way over these braking bumps and rollers. That's the quickest way around sand tracks in this game. So Rax is working his way through the lappers here. Dakinner being a very, very good lapper for Cam, getting all the way off the track. I think that was intentional. I don't think he just messed up. Jen pulling on the track in front of his buddy Cam. Is he going to be aware? He's not aware. Oh, Cam barely dodging the back of Jen there. That was very, very close. My arsehole did pucker just a little bit. They go underneath the Ace Moto archway, and Cam can see Rex right in front of him, so as long as he's got a carrot dangling in front of his nose, he is going to be chasing after it. We've got Lucas in between these two, and hopefully he will be a heads-up lapper. He was very, very good for Rex. I'm hoping he will do the same for Cam also. Kind of don't want to leave this battle, because every time I've left so far, somebody has crashed and the lead has changed. I want to catch it live. As Aiden goes down, JS7 going past Aiden right there. Those two are battling for a P13 position. Some hopefully respectful, clean racing between teammates. And look at this. Sorry, we are going to go away. I guarantee a crash is about to happen. Look at this. All 3 lines in this corner being used, which you absolutely love to see. W track building there from Mr. B Clay. Love to see people experimenting. Same in this corner as well. All the lines being used. And again, I think it's because people are trying to learn the track at the same time as racing it. So they're moving from side to side, trying to make passes, experimenting. Whereas if you was to take a screenshot of these same corners later today on NA, I feel like 1 or 2 of these ruts might not get used at all. Lucas going down, that wasn't one of our leaders, thankfully. As Tyler is still not that far behind. It's still just within inside 10 seconds so far. So not going too well. It's going to be unrideable in Moto 2. No, I think it's going to be okay. I have a feeling that it looks worse than it actually is because of the contrast, the colour contrast. TH going off the track there. These boys just kind of picking their way through. A lot of outsides being quite favourable, which is normal on sand. Just keep that momentum going as much as possible. But we are past the halfway point in this race, and that means we only have 15 minutes or so left to do. And if you want to save 15% on any FXR merch or gear, if you are within any of the EU countries, then you can do so using code MXPR_Lins15 at checkout. So shameless plug away. Cam is plugging away at this lead. He has got it under 2 seconds now. Rax, I don't know if he's feeling the pressure, if he's riding to his absolute limit right now. We know that he usually has quite a lot in the tank. He's usually boasting a bigger lead than this, so he tends to be able to just chill on the back end of these races. Whereas right now, Mr. Box is doing very, very well. 400 plus people watching so far. Thank you everyone for being here. I really do appreciate it. Almost as many viewers in one live stream as a Kelso YouTube video. And Rax is working on the outside here. Cam working through the middle, both drifting out. So it looks like the move is either go middle to outside or outside to middle in these 2 corners. And I like how it kind of switches back and forth. Cam's front end almost going. Oh, it's risky with these boys trying to quad off that roller. When I was doing my practice laps, I was just tripling because it's a hell of a big step. And if you get it a little bit wrong, that front end can knife on you very, very easily. But Rax is doing a bit of a better job this last 2 laps or so, both negotiating lappers and negotiating the track. Cam's gone off the side of the track. He survives though. He doesn't go down. It's starting to get a bit whisky. These boys are getting very, very loose. Oh, Rax goes down. He's stuck. He's stuck in the lappers. Cam trying to get up the inside. Cam going down, taking Rax down with him. Was that a lapper? So Ulma crashes, tries to get going again as Rax is in it. Rax has nowhere to go. Ulma tries to stop. It's too late at that point. Rax getting into him. He's not going to be happy at all. But, you know, it's weird how the universe works. Sometimes karma will come back around and bite you, even if it's in a completely different championship. So, Cam, now promoted into the race lead. He's going to have to try and get past the 2 Sculper boys, or SKOB, apologies for the pronunciation if that is wrong, of Pumba and Ulma. He's going to go round the outside, just like the Trailer Park girls. Eminem must absolutely love the box right now, and goes up the inside of Ulma. Very, very clean passes. Good heads-up riding by the lappers as well. Ulmer kind of redeemed himself. I wouldn't say it was really his fault of the incident earlier, just a racing incident, but it does help to be a tiny bit more aware of where the leaders are just before you rejoin the racing circuit, because if he would have stayed still just for an extra second, Rax would not have lost that lead. Tyler is still here. He's still within 10 seconds or so. So even though the two boys in front of him were making some mistakes, Tyler's had a few of his own to not be able to fully capitalise on this just yet. And one thing that is good to see is once you get outside of this top 3, it's not a whole minute gap to P4. Jen going a lap down. Mr. Tim, aka Pumpakasu, is sitting in P4. He's only 18 seconds behind, so really good stuff right now for Pump. Didn't know he was such a good outdoors guy. Maybe it's that inner Belgian in him, being able to work his way through the sand, translating from real life to the game. We've got Jake still doing his business in a very lonely P5, I have to say. He's 7 seconds off the back of Tim, and he is 15 seconds, sorry, my maths is atrocious, ahead of Vibes, and Vibes must be feeling the vibes right now. He's loving life in P6. Breezy is having an incredible race so far. Breezy, a bit of a stinky opening lap. He's just been going about his business. He might not be the fastest man on the track right now, but you don't have to be if you're just putting in nice, consistent, solid laps. And if we look at the analysis at the end of this race, I guarantee Breezy might be 3 seconds, 2 seconds a lap slower than the boys in the lead, but he's not having them laps that are 10 seconds slower than the rest. He's just doing his laps over and over again. So good stuff from Breezy there. He's in 7th. And just behind him is Boy, the other new Club MX rider. So again, I was probably a little bit happy in the pants right now. We'll see if they need changing after these two motos are done. And then we've got 2 more Club MX riders down here, filling up half of the gate. We've got JS7 and Aiden going at it for the final spot with inside the top 10. So Aiden doing a lot of damage limitation. Good stuff there coming out of Aiden this race. I've noticed Yoku was very, very quick on the 250s, especially at the start of the Supercross season this year. Since he's transitioned over to the 450 side of things, hasn't quite been the same man that I thought he would be. But there are completely different riding styles from 250 to 450 on this game, so it might take a little bit of time to switch over from one to the other. It's like if I was to try and swing a leg over a 250 now, I'd be absolutely hopeless. I'm not good on them things at all. I've spent so many years on 450s at that point. Completely different way of playing. So we're going to go a bit further back. Jay Talon as well. He's sitting in P16, so an okay race from Jay Talon. He's had some better ones this year though. Kazzy's back here as well. I know last round we was getting some Kazzy love in chat from someone. Got Mr. Ivan Jr. I'm not going to say his government details in case he doesn't want them being said. He is inside the top 20. He's in 20th spot. We've got Darks, we've got Crispy. We've got Mr. Egg Shit back here. Is that Mally? That just says Mali, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. I think that is a Frenchman getting into the side of a Russian right there. And then we've got the American, Mr. Adam Ertz of Moto Academy going through over the line as well. Not the greatest moto out of Adam so far. And he's going to have to be nice because he has got his fellow teammate and race leader, Mr. Cameron Box, across the finish line. There is only 7.5 plus 2 laps to go in this moto. It is coming to a halt very, very quickly. Cam choosing to stay out of the rough stuff as well, taking that smoother inside line, which is nice again to see these boys having the headspace to be able to tackle a track at the same time as manoeuvring around and taking different lines. Everyone's still choosing to double to the inside in this corner. That's going to get very, very sketchy by the end of this race. And is he still sending the double? Oh, how does he bring that back? That was a disgusting scrub there from Cameron. I thought that was going to go horribly wrong. They looked like that bike whipped around very, very quickly. Rex still sending it. Tyler right on the back of Rex now as well. So this is the actual championship battle that we have right now. So Tyler is in P2 in the championship. And hopefully, if he can get his shit together, he's having a much better race in Sardinia. He might be able to make this pass on Rax, and it's only a 2-point difference if he beats him, but it's going to be vital championship points. It could come down to 2 points by the end of the season, as these 3 that you see in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd right now are just finishing in those positions every round, just chop and changing between themselves. So whoever comes out on the top in a race-by-race basis is where it's going to be. Tyler getting very close to the back of Rax right there. Has to be careful. I know I mention it all the time, but the netcode in this game between the American and the Europeans can cause some very, very interesting crashes. So oh, he's hitting the Smith grind off the side of the track. That's unfortunate. So Adam going down as well. Tyler managing to avoid him as he gets going again. Adam just backing it up into the middle of the track. He takes Kian down with him. So Tyler's got a lot of work to do. He's going to have to go back to work and try and catch up to these boys. So Rex is now... He's only 7... Cam must have gone down. Rex is only 7 seconds back. Cam was boasting around a 10-second lead for most of this lap, and it could be as simple as just catching lappers at the wrong time. You know, there's some parts of this track where even if the lappers are trying to get out your way, oh, like that, Eurus's bike tagging Cam in the face. Cam is going to get some disgusting cuts from that. So that 6.7-second lead Probably looking more like 5 seconds when Rax is about to cross the line. Any second now, we'll wait for him to go through. There he is, down to 6.1. So Cam getting very unlucky, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, you know. When you've got 40 people on the track all at the same time, there's only so much room for each person. And in that situation with Eurus, there's nothing Eurus has done wrong there. He's just crashed, you know, it happens. And you are a passenger of Poboso, of where the bike's going to end up eventually. So Cam working his way through. He's going to try and keep his cool, keep a level head, keep it tracking through towards the end of this, as we get a very good view actually of this. We'll call it a wall jump. It's more of a ascend at this point. And you can see the hole that's forming. I'm going to zoom in on that in a second. Tyler has caught up onto the back of Rax again, though. Look at this hole that's starting to form where these boys are landing. Just fully deleting the face of this roller right here. And we have to go quite a ways back to find P4, which I've just seen is Jake. There he is, Jake in P4 right now. Lovely stuff from Jake. Pumpakasu, aka Tim, has dropped back into the 5th position, so maybe a stinky couple of last laps from Tim right there, but Jake's going to be happy with it. Oh, a bit of a bounce there. So are all these boys landing that hard? No, Pumpakasu went. You see, it helps to overjump it a little bit and then come up a little bit short. Vendrami there, I believe he might be Brazilian. He's got the BERL in his name, which is making me lean that way. Breezy's up into the 6th spot right now. So Breezy has made it around Boy, his fellow teammate. Lovely stuff from Breezy. He's come from the depths on lap 1 all the way up to the 6th position. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with a good start. I can see him finishing as high as P4 if he gets the start. Aiden has made his way through on Marley as well. So Aiden's up into 9th. We have got, is that 3 or 4? We've got 4 different Club MX riders inside the top 10. And JS7 is not that far away from these boys either. He could make it 5 riders from inside the top 10. That's pretty nuts. I'm not sure if we've ever had that happen in this game before. But we're going to work our way forwards. Tyler has made his way around Rax. So Rax must have died. Every single time I go away from these leaders, something happens, which I do apologise for. Cam's going to go across the line. He's got 3.5 minutes left to go in this race. And there is Tyler. So as it stands right now, Tyler will gain 2 points on Rax in the championship, taking it from 20 down to 18, and Cam will gain 5 points. Would Cam... No, no, sorry. So Cam would be 19 points down, and Tyler would be 18 points down. So getting quite close to this P2 spot in the championship right now between Cam and Tyler. Again, it all just depends. A lot of the time, unfortunately, these races are decided in the first lap, as it seems to be a common occurrence that 2 of these 3 will get a great start, and then 1 will be left fending for his life at the very, very back, trying to make a comeback on the rest of them. And Tyler not getting a good landing on that wall jump. Rax has got the momentum. Tyler choosing to go long and try and downside next to Roller, but Rax staying lower. Is he going to give it up? Rax diving to the inside. Aggressive pass, but clean. Absolutely clean. Nothing wrong there at all. I'm not sure if Tyler checked up there to make sure he didn't get taken down, because if Tyler was committed to that middle, there definitely would have been some bar banging going on by the end. So now Rax is going to find his way up into P2, and Tyler is going to try and take chase on him. And Cam has gone down again. So we can see all 3 leaders. We are 28 minutes deep into this race so far, and we can see the top 3 in the space of 1 camera angle, which is great stuff. All these boys are going to have to try and negotiate their way around these lappers, though. Cam has made another mistake. I'm not sure if he's just not used to that middle rut, doesn't know how it works, and had to change because the lapper was on the outside in what I would call the race line. We shall see. Crispy not really choosing. He hasn't looked behind him in the air either. Is he going to check up and get out of the way? He's going around the outside here, forcing Cam to take the inside line, which I don't think is that good. Crispy getting to the back of Cam, almost taking Cam down. Get out of the way, Crispy. He's looked over his shoulder now. He's moved out of the way for Tyler. Then kind of shoving it quite deep on the inside of Tyler as well. Crispy looking very racy with these boys out in front. So Tyler could actually find himself winning this. So I gave him some shit in the DMs earlier, saying that he was a pretty L sand rider, and he might be proving me wrong today, which I love to see it. I love to be proved wrong in races like this, especially when it leads to good racing as well. So Cam is going to go across the line 1.6 seconds ahead of Tyler, who is then in turn 5 seconds ahead of Rax. Make that 5.5 seconds now. Rax making some more mistakes, losing out on some time. And, oh, that's an interesting line there. He kind of goes outside, so he's hopped over this bump and then carries on the outside. Let me keep going forwards. I don't want to lose these 2 in front in case something happens. Crispy choosing to send it to the inside of the leader. Not the smartest choice I've ever seen, but doesn't cause Tyler to go down at all. Tyler airing that out, landing very short. Oh, I don't know how he stayed on the bike there. We can thank the very OP OEMs for that. These bikes are basically bulletproof. Off to the right-hand side, looking like me when I played in third person, trying to get a lap. And Cam's going to work his way past Ivan Jr. around the outside. Lovely smooth stuff. So we should have I think we do have 40 seconds before they cross the line. So we should have 2 to go at the end of this. And it's... Tyres crashed again. Now I am going to have to go back and try and watch it. What's he done here? So it goes around the outside, across these bumps. Back end just steps out. I think he tries cutting down across the bumps too early. Back end isn't where it wanted to be, and he goes down. So Tyler has gone from a potential P1. He was barking right on the back of Cam, and he's gone off the track again. I've seen him in the background there. Oh, Tyler's falling apart in these last 3 laps. He's not going to be happy with this whatsoever. I don't think Cam's going to be too happy with him either, to be honest, because if Tyler finished in second in this, again, that's just another 2 points being taken away from Rax's point lead, and both of them would love to have more points taken away. So Cam has a much more comfortable lead now. It's not the 1.5 seconds that it was to Tyler originally. It's now 7.5 seconds. He's going to go across the line, which is going to bring them to 2 laps left to go. So we'll check back in on that in a little bit. Rax going past the whole shot line. Tyler says he's about 6 seconds behind. There could be cuts coming into play there because it doesn't look like a 6-second gap. Let's have a little bit of a look further back. Do we have any battles going on right now? We've got a battle for P11 between Cooper and Yoku. So we'll try and find them. We've got Vibes right there. We've got Marley and Aiden still going at it. And Marley, where is Marley on the tyre? It says Marley's in 14th. But he's battling with Aiden, who's in 9th. So Marley must have just an insane amount of cuts right now. But as you can see, we are 30 minutes deep into this race. We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different people, all in the same part of the track, all on the same lap, all going at it. It might even be 7. There might be a lap revival here. JS7 going down. He gets a good respawn though. Bike lands facing the right way. He's going to be happy with that. So this around about 10th or so position throughout this whole season so far, regardless of what track we've been on, has been one of the most interesting bits of the track to watch. These boys have been going back and forth all season long. Aiden's going to be quite happy after his really, really bad start to this race. He's now in P9. Possibility to get a P8 or so. I think Vibes is just a little bit up the road, though. Where is Vibes? Oh, no, Vibes is clear. Vibes is clear. We've got Eurus jumping off side of the track here. Is he out of... I think we just witnessed Eurus run out of fuel there, which is very, very unfortunate of him. Not good whatsoever. Cam has extended his lead now to 11 seconds over Rax. So, as I say that... No, God, I thought Tiger was Rax for a second. Although that still doesn't look like an 11-second lead. Cam is here, and Rax is here. And Tyler's here. Okay, boys, this is closing up. We've got 1 lap left to go. Cam could still throw this away. As Rax moving over onto Tyler there. Tyler had to check up on the brakes real quick to make sure he didn't run into the back of him. Is Tyler going to get aggressive? He is. Tyler going up the inside. Rax going to cut back underneath, pushing Tyler off the track this time. Yeah, Tyler's not going to be too happy with that. I feel like it's completely fair. It is racing moves. Unfortunately, if you start rubbing people the wrong way enough times, it will eventually come back to bite you. And I think, ideally, I think Tyler was trying to do exactly what Rax just done to him. I think Tyler was trying to push Rax out of the way first. Rax has checked up, dived up the inside, and done the same back to him. So, no love lost between these three. And the end of this season, I think, is going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. So, we have now got... Cam only has a 5-second lead right now. He has cleared most of these lappers, though. He just has 1 more lapper to get past in Danny. And Rax still has to try and get past 1, 2, 3 people. He's going to pass 2 in at the same time right here. Nice. So he's only got 1 more lapper in between himself and Cam. Cam has now disposed of Danny as well. 5 seconds last lap. Hopefully none of these boys run out of fuel. I would hate for that to happen to Cam 2 rounds in a row. So Rax is going to sky this out. I do kind of want to sit on Cam. As we know, he can be a little bit of a loose cannon sometimes. I'm hoping that he sees that 5-second lead that he had and he's just chilling. Although if you chill too much, Rax has now basically taken a 1.5 seconds off of him in the space of the first sector. So if he does that for the next 2 sectors, Cam's only going to win this by about 0.5 second. So he can't chill out too much. He still has to keep on sending there. I think he'll be very, very happy getting a win. I think he was deserved one last week, but he'll be doing it in Sardinia instead. Not Sardinia, in Latvia instead. He did have really, really good speed in Sardinia. Just find himself going down a lot, maybe trying to go a bit too fast. Maybe he's worked on bike setup since then, found something that works a little bit better, or maybe he's just worked on himself and just got faster in that regards. But he's looking pretty good so far. Tyler trying to get past Ivan as well. He's going to go around the outside of him. Cam getting past Kazzy as Kazzy rejoins the track. No dramas there. Still, this is not a comfortable lead even to have on the last lap. I know there's only a couple corners left to go, but I don't really want to leave this just in case any drama happens in these last few corners. You can just see how gone away this part of the track is right now. Cam doing a very good job of keeping traction around there, gently rolling on the throttle. Same thing from Rax there, keeping it on nice and smooth. Tyler going up the inside. Oh, that's Jay Talon. So Tyler must have gone past and then went down again. So Cam's going to bring it on in home. One corner left to go. Over the finish. He's happy. Throwing a cheeky Superman for the fans. And Rax is going to go across now. I don't think Cuts is going to change anything. No, Rax finishes in second. And then I believe Tyler's going to come across the line in third, which he does. And then we've got 26 seconds all the way back to P at number 4, who is Mr. Tim. There you go. He went back and forth with Jake a few times. I have noticed in these races, Jake has held on really, really well until the last couple of laps. So I'm not sure if his setup just doesn't really vibe with the Erode so far, or if he just needs some more Erode practice. But he's had a really solid pace until the last maybe 4 or 5 laps of each race. So he's going to work his way around in 5th. There's no drama him really of losing any more positions. Boy, on his debut ride on the Club MX machine, he's going to finish in 6th with a fellow Club MX rider in Breezy in 7th. So we have Club MX in 5th, 6th and 7th. We did have 2 more inside the top 10 in Aiden and JS7, but they have since fallen outside of that top 10 position. But props to Aiden for actually finishing a sand race. So Vibes is working his way around. He's in 10th right now. Aiden is chilling as well. He's in 11th. We could find... Are there cuts here? There might be cuts here. It says 2.5 seconds on the leaderboard. And I'm sure if Aiden got caught up in some first lap issues, he found himself off the track a few times, which will give him some cuts. Don't know if he's really going to have enough time left. There's... Oh, Vibes goes off the side. That was actually quite clean. That was a good track re-entry at that point. No, I think Vibes is going to hold on to that and find his way across the line in 10th, which I'm sure he'll be very, very happy with. Lovely top 10 there from Vibes. Aiden's going to cross in 11th. No, Vibes actually gets 9th after cuts, so Marley getting relegated down into that 10th spot. Aiden in 11th. Odin crossing the line in 12th. He made a fair few passes in the second half of that race. Yoku 13th. JS7 in 14th. And then Vendrami was a lap down. And that is all as she wrote, folks. That is Moto 1 here in Keegan's. And it's actually quite refreshing not seeing the leaders lap all the way up to P4. Seemed to be a lot closer in that one. There's some good stuff. And as you can see, if we look across this track, that track is absolutely beat. It's all kinds of battered and bruised. Should we have a quick little flyby before we go for our 10-minute intermission break? So we go off the start here, turn to the right. This is nice and flat tracking, so no issues for the riders here at all. Shouldn't cause them any dramas. And then we've got either a middle line or an outside line here. But as you can see, there is some quite bad triangulation and some holes going on. So you got to get your ass off the back of the bike, keep it in a higher gear, get the suspension working to the best of its ability. And you can either go around the outside here or go through the middle. It seems like if you go outside, you then transfer over to the middle right in the second corner. Whereas if you go middle, you then drift out to the outside in the next one. And then these boys are either choosing to triple and downside here, which is what I would go for, or they're quadding and downsiding here, which seems like a lot of people are going for. And quite sketchy. You can see how many people have landed a little bit short on this quad, which causes the Poboso physics to rebound and get all kinds of sketch. This straight shouldn't really be causing anyone any issues at all. Up and over the finish line, love, love, love seeing 3 different lines all being used equally, especially when it's lines like this that kind of cross over each other. Lovely stuff. And these ruts don't look jagged at all. These ones look nice and smooth, so it shouldn't be causing the riders to get kicked around at all. And then I think outside was the preferred line at the beginning of this race, but as you can see, very, very easy to get bucked about in this stuff. So I would probably advise people to stay away from that and either go middle or far inside. That middle, it kind of leads you out into the rough here, but inside keeps you well away from it. And you have to be a little bit patient going into the inside, but it does end up working to your benefit towards the back end of the moto. Well done. Well done on the race cam. Look at your analysis. You can see how bad the track is. Is it... What's the difference? Like 10 seconds from start of the race to the end? In terms of lap time? Where are you? Where's old Cammy? There he is. So you started off in the 56s, 55s, and we ended off around the... I mean, there's a lot of crashes here, to be fair, Cam. So maybe about 2 minutes, 2:02s. Yeah, your last lap was just under a 2. There's about a 5-second drop-off. It's not too insane. You just got to try and keep it up on 2 wheels. I am a little bit jealous, I'll be honest. I'm not riding because that looks like absolute perfection to me. I love a sand track, especially getting to pick your way around as well. But yeah, Cam, you set yourself up for a 1-1 on the day. So it should be some exciting racing in race number 2. The road setting was on... Is that it? Wow. That was this. It was not money. Okay, so we might have to have a discussion at some point about the OEM tyres. Because only being on 0.07 erode, I know it's a sand track and sand will obviously erode quicker than a normal one, but that's unreal. That went away really, really quickly. I went away super, super quick. Big W track creator. I think the track's very good. Very, very good. One thing I'm happy about with the commentating is that I get to have the track a little bit early and be able to give some input into it. Because there was a couple of lines, let me see how they were used, that I asked to be changed. So no, it wasn't really touched. So this inside rut here, see where this bank is? The bank was all the way up to this point here. So it made it, like, the bank was kind of like here. So it made it even harder to get to this inside. So I asked him to shave this bank away to maybe open up this inside. But it doesn't seem like anyone's really touching it. Anyway, maybe they will at the back end of this race. I asked for some of these bumps to be smoothed out a little bit. So you see this bit and this bit here were quite a bit taller, which is, I think, has helped people go into this inside because they're not getting bucked around quite as much. So all three of these ruts have been used, so that's really, really good stuff there. I asked for some of these bumps to be smoothed out a little bit to let people cut from the right to the left, and that's exactly what's happening. There would have been a lot more deaths, I think, if it didn't get taken away. I think people would have had to follow this all the way around the right-hand side here. So there's been a couple of changes, which I'm quite happy with the outcome. I'm very happy that there was no decision to put a wall in, or to put an invisible barrier here, because it looks like people are having a nice fun time sending this. I've seen some people coming up slightly short, though, which is, I don't know if that's a factor because of the erode here, but you can see just how much the ground's dug down, because you can compare it to the bumps right next to it. It's so much lower. And you got to think, if you've got 40 people for 30 minutes straight of launching off this and landing down here, it is going to go away. But it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, this is just all visual. It could be completely different when you're actually riding it. I'm surprised to still see people jump into this inside. Very, very easy to get the front end in the wrong place, and it sends you down as well. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Check general in my Discord. Are people popping off? Or am I banning? This is the... Wait. Oh no, I've seen this Twitch clip already. If it's what I think is. Oh no. No, yes. Actually, no, this is good.
I did it again. Why did I do that?
Oh, Rex is in Discord.
Get the fuck over here, Cam.
Wait, bro. Bro.
Is that during the race? I mean, it sounds like they're both in the same call, so I don't think there's any issues with it at all. But he's an interesting character, is old Rex. I didn't realise it until the last like week.
Get the fuck over here, Cam.
It's definitely. I mean, it's interesting. But they're in the same call, so it shouldn't be there shouldn't be any issues there at all. No, this looks fine to me. Actually, looks quite enjoyable. What I might do, you boys can remind me actually, because I do have the option still to be able to. No, it wouldn't let me on the track. Never mind, it's fine. I was going to say I can join at the end and do some riding around, but I wouldn't be able to do it now because they'd get annoyed with me. Yeah, if you're staying up late by any chance tonight, SD, stay up and watch the NA side of things because it's nowhere near as multi-lined as the EU side is, because these boys are still trying to learn the track. In another 3 hours from now, when NA race, they already know every line that is the quickest, even if it's like a 10th quicker. So they will all take that line and only take that line for the whole two motos. Hello, Ritvars. Hello. I'm glad to have you here from Latvia. Hope you can enjoy your own round. If you guys heard that, can you guess what the drink is before I hold it up to the camera? But no, I don't think that clip there with Rex is any issue at all. I don't think Cam would mind because they're in the same call. Pepsi Cherry Max, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. You all laughed at me. No, if they weren't in the same call and he's just yeeted him, then it might be a different story, but it sounds like they were having fun together and messing around. Can you imagine being so good at the game that you can just fuck around in an actual pro race and still be absolutely fine? Ready for you to complain again? Right, Leyland, I'm glad you're here, Because before you say the track is one-lined, because of you NA fucks, look, every line got used here. Every line got used here. I'd say every line here, but there's basically just 2. All the lines got used here. All the lines... inside didn't get used. 3 lines got used there. All the lines got used there. 2 of them got used there. All getting used here. Not... is it a case of... No, they should be able to cut down and still get that inside, but I just don't think these... I don't think this is getting rough enough yet. Like, this still looks smooth to follow, so it should still be viable. The issue you have is it... Get your ass off the track, Lucas. If you go inside here, then you can't jump this double, and that loses you a lot of time, so that's probably why people aren't taking that. All getting used. Both getting used. All getting used. 2 getting used. 2 getting used. So yeah, we'll see what the scenario is in NA. We'll see if people stick to their one line or if they change. But yeah, basically what you see there, Leyland, is exactly the same as how Lugo was last week. But then obviously on the NA side of things, everyone was just taking the same line, so it felt one-lined. But I suppose if you've got a fast line that people have been taking that's dug in, it's quite hard to then want to take a different line that hasn't been used yet that might be slower. So it needs a few people to take a different line for it to also become a good one. So it's just kind of like it's herd mentality, basically. You got to all change it. Do I have a favourite track? Are we in terms of like the GP season so far, or just of all time? Because of all time, I think it's Krakenberg. In terms of GPs, Lugo has been my favourite so far, maybe of all the GP tracks we've ever had. Thank you very much, Virtue, for the $2. Do I hate Kelso? Hate is a strong word. He's just not my kind of person. I didn't mind him to begin with, but then he just kind of went a bit weird and wanted to be different and edgy, and then started throwing shade. So it's hard to have shade thrown without wanting to do the same back, so I kind of give the same energy that he gives us. But no, hate's a strong word. Just a dislike of clashing personalities. Thank you very much for the $2, Virtue. I do appreciate it. W Endure, I know. We should probably... I might have to speak to Wes, because I don't know. I know he's quite a busy man these days. But it would be nice to get another Enduro series on the go. I know the only issue we have these days is how unstable the game is in terms of game crashes. And imagine you're in like a championship battle and your game just crashes, so you lose a whole race worth of points. It would be very, very frustrating for people. The next track in the series is Matterley Basin. So we're going to my hometown for next round. We're off to the UK. And I have been given some insider information, by the way, that the reference material for the track being built is going to be based off of how the Nations track raced in real life last year. So, if you already own the Nations track that we use for MX Bikes Nations, you could probably get some pretty good practice in ahead of time. Obviously, it's going to be a different builder, so the ruts and bumps will be different. But in terms of the overall roughness or so, I imagine they'd be quite similar to each other. Although Bradley did say he was going to tone it down a little bit for Matterley, because we have had some quite deep, choppy bumps in the last couple of rounds. So he might give you guys a bit of an easier track to ride for next week. So we'll see what you guys get. England is in... London is my city. Well, not anymore. London's not my city anymore. I make a lot of speech mistakes. I made one just there. Speech mistakes whilst doing these streams. It's hard to be 100% articulate all the time. Articulate properly and be literate enough to do it all properly as well. Not easy to do. So more respect for Mr. Jeff Emig, by the way, for being able to do it all with his stutter and his just general speech problems. Bro worked hard at the talking, and it came up clutch. Do I think a 57.3 would get you in NA? What was the cut-off time in EU? Let's have a look. Because I would need to know that before giving you a yes or no. So... Yes, I think it would. Maybe only just, but it should do. You should be alright. I imagine obviously you've still got like 3 hours until NA qualifying as well, so you'll probably go fast on that by then anyway. Are we racing yet? No, not yet. So yeah, we got the pit camera going on. Watch these boys. I have this, so you see these boys riding around in the pits right now. Even after doing a 30-minute +2 race, if I sit here for the 10-minute cooldown or rest in between races and don't play the game at all, lap 1 of Moto 2, I feel like I can't go in a straight line. But if I was to sit here, even just riding back and forth wheeling, I'm absolutely fine. It's like my fingers seize up or go cold in between races. But I wanted to get a few of these bikes. I do like the white. It's nice. Good stuff. A little bit of military action going on. Bit of camo in there. I thought we was about to start a race because everyone went back to the pits, or maybe someone jump started straight away. JV's such a handsome man, isn't he? Let's get all up in his grills. And then we've got a wild Nico looking over his shoulder in the background. Don't tell Mrs. Nico though. Surrounded by the Monster Energy girls. Absolute player. We've got a wild Stone Rider. That is a... I know Stoney likes his photography. That is a bougie camera. Hella bougie. Right. Here we go, boys. Race number 2. We'll get the standings up. Names are on. And we'll see how it goes. So, it went Cam, Rax, Tyler last race. We'll see if it'll be a another iteration of those 3 in this one. And revs are up. The gates are. Oh, a little bit of a pre-jump there from Rax. Still gets an okay jump. He shuts off. Smart move there. Is he going to tuck under the inside of everyone? No, he gets collected. That's the NA ping doing him a disservice there. Tyler gets a great start. Is he going to come out clean in turn 2? He is. So Tyler doing exactly what he needed to. Great start, clean first turn. JS7 in second here. Breezy scrubbing. A good start from Breezy. This is exactly what Breezy needed. I could see him getting a top 5 in this race. He goes into the bows. Almost cursed him already. Oh, hold on to it, Breezy. So we have got Tyler from Tiger. JS7. Crispy having a much better start than last race. Yoku, Breezy, Jen a much better start as well. Vibes up there again. Better start for Aiden. Good one from Jake. Cooper, Extreme, Eurus, Marley, Adam Ertz. Where, oh where is Cameron the box? Bumpakasu side by side with Rax. Rax trying to move over to the left for some reason, even though there's clearly a bike right next to him. There is Cam. Bad start for Cam. I did see him get collected in that first corner. Oh, Pumpakasu's down horrendous. We've got Def in this corner as well. Cam being very smart, checking up, going up the inside. Ulmer going from far left to far right. Not the smartest I've seen. How has Cam survived that? This man is being touched by Paboso himself right now, the hand of God. Oh, both Rax and Cam jumping off the side of the same jump. Oh, Cam looping his Larry. Oh, no. Oh, not the lap that you want to do it on. That is horrendous for the box. He's going to lose so many positions. And he's gone down again in the very next corner. All of his hard work and finally getting the Moto win in the last race could already be out the window on lap 1 of Moto number 2. There is chaos back here. Look at these boys all over the place, left and right. Brazilian ping, flinging Cam going down. Cam getting landed on again. Oh, Cam getting hit again. Oh my God, boys. Oh, this is actually unreal. We are almost the entire way around lap 1 and Cam is in about 5th to last. Not the start that Cam wanted. He went from being blessed by Paboso to getting cursed by him. But one man's going to be very happy with this situation right now. Tyler J. I was going to say his last name. I shouldn't do that. Tyler J. in the lead. He has got a 4.5 second lead over second place right now. However, someone that has been going about their work on this first lap, staying out of the chaos after going down in turn 1, is that man right there. Rax has already, from a horrendous first corner, found his way up inside the top 10. He's in 9th, now making the pass for possibly 8th right there. And I imagine, little off-track excursion, I imagine that 7th, 6th and 5th are only going to come very, very quickly since they're all there in front of him. So Tyler needs to put his head down. Tyler needs to put on a bit of a charge, try and create a gap, and then just run clean, consistent laps. He's very capable of doing so. It's just so far this season, he finds himself having to go quite hard just to catch up with the boys in front. Whereas this time, he's the man out in front, and he's being a bit smart about it as well, trying to stay out the rough stuff, just going about his business. We'll check in with Tyler later on in this race. We'll let him do his thing. JS7, again, on his debut ride on the Club MX machine. He's in second place, just made the pass on at Tiger right there. These two are going to go at it for a while. We've got Jake and Aiden separated at birth, but together as close as you can be in the womb. The twins, side by side almost, going through the zero race where arch right here. They find themselves yet again one position apart. I'm pretty sure last moto is the only time this year they have been more than one position apart from each other. So those boys going to go at it, battling for the 4th position on track. Rax is already up into 7th place. As Jake goes down, Rax hits him, somehow survives, finds his way up now into 6th place. As Jake goes from 4th down to about 10th now. Not a great corner for him. Breezy threw away that early lead from the commentator's curse. Say lead. He was about P3, I think, going over the line on that one. He found himself outside the top 10 right now. Not as good of a start for Boy. As he goes down again, Blue just giving him no room at all. Blue going off the track himself. Probably not ideal. Marley going up the inside of Jen right there. Where is the box? How far back is Cam? Holy schmoly. What position is Cam in right now? Cam is in 30th position, 44 seconds behind the lead. That is not really what you want when you're in a championship battle, and he's going to get caught up even more by these boys. Sandwiched between Eurus and Geo, not ideal. But again, there's only so much room on the track for these boys. You know, if they're 3 wide, somebody's going to go down eventually. So very hard to make clean, concise passes in these early laps, which is why what Rax has done is so impressive from having a really bad start. He's all the way up into P5 already. Cam is probably getting very, very annoyed by trying to make his way past Eurus right now. Scrubbing so hard, he's off the side. More riders going down. Cam threading the needle between those two. Very heads-up riding as well. Very smart. Eurus jumping from left to right, almost going across Deakinner. Then getting sketchy himself. Cam's made 4 passes in the space of 2 corners. This is... Maybe I am happy that I'm not out there, because I can't imagine I'd get great starts. So maybe this would be me right now. But the track, I don't really see the track going to get too much worse. I think it's probably at its limits and dug down as far as it can go down. Cam still choosing to quad over that, going past the Brazilian there. He's going to go across the line now in P24. So 6 places in 1 lap, not too shabby at all. But as we look up the road, we can see just how much work he has to do in front of him. We've got a long race to go, but we have got a long way up the track to try and find these boys. Can Cam still work his way up into like a top 3 spot? This is the moto to try and do it, try and find that damage limitation. Where's Jake up to now? Jake is in 13th. Damn, that 4th to 13th in the space of a lap. So this was the point last lap that he went down. Got a lot of battling going on here, though. We've got Jake, Breezy, Mali going up the inside of Pumpakasu there. Yoku just in front of Lee's. Better race so far for Yoku. He's in 9th position. A very good race so far for Mr. Vibes as well. Vibes having 2 solid motos so far. Maybe he's a bit of a sand enjoyer. As we then go a little bit further forward, we've got Extreme getting a little bit of a kick there and going down. No, he didn't go down, he survived. Yoku barely scraping past him. Tiger having a much better race this race than in his first moto as well. Going forwards a little bit more. The Vibes is up into P6 right now as the back end kicks out again. Barely holds onto it. Well, this track is going to claim a lot of victims in this race. Cooper is chilling in P5. Much better race for Cooper. Much, much, much better start for Aiden, sitting in P4. JS7 has now overtaken Rax back into P2. He had given it up, but Rax going down momentarily. Rax will regain and try and take that 2nd position back. So as these boys go across the line, probably about 14 seconds or so behind Tyler. No, 12 seconds behind Tyler. So, oh, Tyler goes down as well. That's an odd place to crash. What happened there? You get a kick from the back end as he exited this rut. Don't know, because MX bikes things. But yeah, Tyler went down. So Rax is going to try and scrub his way past J7, getting them tyres onto the ground as quick as possible. Get that momentum going forwards. He's going to be on the inside here. Is he going to jump to the inside? He is. Stays low, lands on that inside nice. Very well done. Lovely stuff to watch. So J7's going to get relegated to P3. Aiden's still in that P4. Vibes moving Cooper out of the way there. Going past him into P5. Cooper relegated into P6. Already a bit of a gap here, though. Back to P7 from Tiger. Then we've got Mali around the outside of him. We've got Extreme as well. Some of these boys still choosing to send that single at the end. Some people now choosing to roll it as it's getting a bit rough. Good heads-up riding, though. You like seeing people making the decision. We've got Davey down here as well. Breezy, not so great after a good first lap. Let's do a little check-in again to the man who I think has just gone off the track. No, that was just a bit of lag. We've got Cam. Cam choosing not to send it anymore, which just when you're behind people, smartest thing to do. You don't know if they're going to send it or not. Better to not land on anybody. He does scrub from far right to far left, though. Oh, that was a little bit sketchy right there. So Cam has worked his way up into 17th position right now. And he got a little twofer going through the middle right there. A very, very clean pass on Darks and Danny at the same time. So Cam's now going to move up to 15th place. And they got a little bit of... I mean, when he gets up to these boys further ahead, they're all spread out a little bit right now until we get to this battle here for the 10th position on track. I told you, in 10th position, every single round so far this year, 10th has been the position to go for, basically. Everyone's on the Yami. The Yami is kind of the OP meta bike at the moment. Do I think Sexton will win the championship if he... I mean, it's 50-50 at this point. I would like him to. I am a slight more... Tiger, you okay? I'm a slight more of a Sexton enjoyer than a Cooper Webb enjoyer. However, I love the fact that Webb is just there all the time and now he's able to get into people's heads. Sexton is a very confidence-based rider, but the fact that he's won the last two, if he can just stay away from doing any of the stupid stuff that he's done in the past with just random front-end washes and crashes when he's got a comfortable lead, I think he could do so. But the last few rounds should be exciting. I'll be honest, I think the real-life 450 season this year has been a little bit of a snooze fest once all of the other fast boys got injured and went out. 250s has been more enjoyable to watch for me. But yeah, we'll see. It should be an interesting last few rounds. We shall see. Two people on the KTM. Yeah, a lot of it does come down to personal preference as well. But for whatever reason, the Yami seems to have better grip than the KTM does. KTM's a little bit on the looser side of things. I mean, if there's two people on the KTM, they're both outside the top 30. So I'm not sure if that is a testament to their individual skill, or if that is the Yami is just better. I personally prefer the KTM around this track, just because I have a really good sand setup on it. My lap time was like... It was less than a second. I think my lap was 0.6 off of the top of quali, and I was on a KTM. So it's not like the end of the world. It's not terrible. So let's go look for Tyler. We've got Tyler here in first place. He is losing time. So Rax has been gaining slowly over these last few laps. A combination of, I think, being faster around here and a couple of mistakes from Tyler. The issue that Tyler might have is as he sees that gap go down, he might feel the pressure to try and go faster and then make more mistakes. So we're going to see how that unfolds throughout the course of this. But as we go back, we see Rax right here. He's going about his business. So he's got a clear track in front of him. He's just going to try and charge. JS7 in a comfortable P3 right now with his teammate Aiden back in P4. We have Vibes here in P5. Such a good day for Vibes. He's going to be so happy with his results today. Jake sat in P6. He's kind of regained and gone from like 13th to 6th in the space of 2 laps. Extreme in 7th. Cooper in 8th. Pumpakasu in 9th. And Crispy rounding out your top 10. We've then got Yoku going up the inside of Tiger right here. Mali or Maley, I apologise if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly, sir, in P13 or so. Cam's still making moves, working his way through the pack. He's just disposed of Mr. Spink, and he's going up the inside here of Tiger. Tiger's had a rough last 2 laps of it, making quite a few mistakes and going down a lot. But yeah, Cam going about his work, still choosing... No, he tripled, he didn't quad. It looked like he was going to try and quad there. Marley did quad behind him, but didn't really seem to gain any time at all. Marley does have good pace. I think it's just his consistency is a little bit off at the moment. But both boys funneling around to the outside. Cam take it. I like this line from Cam. I really, really do. It's just a lot of a safer option, and he actually pulled away from Marley there. So I know none of the other racers on track can hear me right now, but if for some reason you have my stream up in the background whilst you're racing, go inside after the first right-hander after the finish. Very, very good stuff. So Cam going to try and go up the inside of Mally. Is he going to send it? No, checks up again. Again, just heads up riding, being smart, not wanting to get caught up into the back of him. Barely squeaks by there. That was close. The lead is down to 5.4 seconds now. These boys in front are going to make things very, very spicy. So Rax... Oh, Tyler's gone down again. Just a silly little mistake in that corner. Rax going over the bars. Is he going to get a lucky respawn? He always does for some reason. Bike always lands the right direction. Someone check it. See how he's put weights in his front tyre to make it face forwards. He's alive again. This boy might be the king of saves. He just never seems to crash as much as other people do, even if he gets sketchy. So the lead was going to go down, but then Rax made a mistake himself as well. So it should stay about the same. I'm looking at about 6.5 to 7 seconds as these boys go across the line. So tyre's going to go through there. Let's have a look. Got a little clock at the top right. 6.6. But I know JV does the models and stuff for this. I think this should be a little bit bigger, because when you're a racer, it's really hard to see. I know it might look a little bit goofy for stream, but if that was made bigger, I think these boys in-game would really appreciate it. I know a lot of people run the max HUD anyway, so they don't need it as such, but some people with the lower-end PCs don't run max HUD just because it helps them on frames a bit. So it might be more beneficial for them to be able to see that in a little bit bigger writing. Maybe even in yellow as well, rather than white. I know some people struggle to see on black and white as well as other people do. So that should be good. Coincidence? Yeah, that'll be his next video. A little conspiracy theory, how everybody's cheating. Yeah, Rack's definitely cheating. He's too fast, you know? Too good. You have to cheat. When you can't fathom how people can be better than you, then the next thing to resort to is the cheating accusations. Oh my god, I thought Vibes was going to land on the back of Aiden then. That is the risk you take. So, it is faster to send that wall jump, but Vibes didn't get the best landing, and because of that the gap kind of stayed the same, whereas Aiden didn't risk crashing and didn't lose anything from it. So it's definitely risk versus reward right now. Yes, max HUD does make your frames worse, 100%. So best way that I can really give you a test of that is if you load Krakenberg with reshade and max HUD and look at your frames, and then you remove reshade and remove max HUD completely from your files, not just turn it off in game, but you have to remove it from your files completely and load up this Krakenberg again, you will get much better frames. So little tip for you there. If you struggle on frames, turn your anti-aliasing off and take away your reshade and take away your max HUD completely from your game files, and you'll get better frames. Good stuff. It's been an interesting season so far, because when these bikes came out, I remember rocking up at A1, and there was a bunch of Yammies there, a bunch of KTMs, a bunch of Huskies, a few Betas, and as the season's gone on and people have got more and more comfortable on the bikes, comfortable with the setups, everyone's just gravitated towards the Yam, and I can't hate on them for it, because the race that I'd done on the Yami, it felt really, really good. And it's the first proper go that I gave it in that Supercross race. So, yeah, very, very, very good bike indeed. I wanted to try and find Tyler and Rax. There they are. I went a little bit too far. So as you see, this lead is coming down. So Rax, definitely quicker on track. He's still hitting his marks really nicely, doubling into that inside. Tyler's still sending this. Rax is choosing to check up, downsides that little hump there, which is going to give him a good slingshot for the straight. Still able to scrub and stay nice and low over some of these sections. The entire as he goes off track, the entire face of this jump now has been used. So you are riding basically the edges of the track. However, you'll see the track builders have built up the edges a little bit more to stop people from scumbagging and trying to low line it. So you are basically forced in the rough stuff right now. So Rax, little mistake going into the bow, but he keeps it up on two wheels, as he always does. It's what he does. Tyler working his way through, only 2.6 seconds now back to Rax. I don't know if there's a second or so of cuts coming into play, because it does look like a slightly bigger gap. And I feel bad about moving away from that battle there, because I have a feeling one of them's about to crash, but I've got to give Vibes some love. Vibes is in third place right now, on track. I think he might have a couple of seconds cuts, or he's only just past Aiden, because Aiden is third on timing and scoring, but fourth on track right now. These two have been going back and forth quite a bit over the course of this race. JS7 and Jake right here, so we've got 3 members of the same team, all on the same bit of the track right now. Cam has made a very impressive comeback so far. So if any of you remember, back to the end of lap 1, he was 43 seconds behind the lead. Bear in mind, he's been working through traffic this entire time. He's got his way up to 7th. He's only 45 seconds behind the lead. So through the course of this whole race so far, going through traffic, he's only lost 2 seconds, which it's happened to me before. It's more frustrating knowing that you could have won and didn't because of a bad start. But it's been a very good race for Cam so far. I can see him getting all the way up into third looking at this time, because he's only 12 seconds off the back of Aiden right now, and there is still 13 minutes plus 2 laps to go, and that adds up to roughly about 15 minutes. Now, if you want to cop yourself some FXR merch or just some FXR gear and you want 15% off, then go to fxr.eu, because you have to be in the European stores, and use MXPR_Lins15 at checkout, and it will give you 15% off of that. And alternatively, if you use code LINS at checkout at G Fuel, you get 20% off all your G Fuel products. Good stuff as well. And alternatively, if you go to preorder.motocrossthegame.com and use code LINS4 at checkout, you get 4% off of Motocross the Game when you pre-order it. So, there you go. Shameless plugs, completely gone. Honda 250, yes, Honda 250 is a good option. I like it. I've not experimented with all the 250s. However, if you guys remember back when these OEM bikes first came out and I was testing everything, I hopped on the Honda 250 for like 2 laps, and even out the box, completely stock, it felt like a really solid bike. So now the fact people have had time to mess around with setups and stuff, doesn't surprise me that a lot of people are enjoying it. So Rax has made a mistake here, because Tyler has pulled away from him a little bit. It was 2.5 seconds, it's now up to 5.5. I've seen Cam and now Tyler both choosing to hug this inside here. Rax still going around the outside here. I mean, the outside still looks pretty smooth. Just got to keep your ass out the seat, get up on the pegs and try and absorb the bumps as best as you can. Same with this outside here, looks fairly straightforward. He's going to be getting a bit of a chapped arsehole at this rate, because he is sitting down through this rough stuff, but it's working out for him absolutely fine. Jumping his way around the corners. That's how you want to attack the sand on this game. Lovely stuff, nice and smooth. Good from him. We've now got Eurus going over the bars right in front of Tyler. We've got Lucas Gaudet going down right in front of Tyler as well. Tyler managing to just avoid those issues for now. Sometimes you have to be lucky as well as being good, because those bikes can bounce in any direction. Someone who wasn't lucky, however, was the man who finds himself over here. Where is he? Did I miss it? No, here he is. Here's Mr. Cam. He's now 52 seconds down, so he's gone down within the last lap after I commented how he's had a good comeback so far. But yeah, damage limitation. He could still find his way up to third if the dice roll that way. We have to go a little bit further back. There's 34 seconds between P2 and P3 right now. That is more of a gap that we're used to in these races. And it is Aiden. Where is Vibes gone? Vibes has dropped back just a little bit, so he's in P6 right now. He does have cuts by the looks of it, because Jake is back here, who is in front of him on track, but or behind him on track, but not on cuts. So Jake chilling it in P5. Cam is actually in P7 right now. He's definitely can work up a bit further than that. Pumpakasu not having as good a race as he did in the first one. Maybe struggling in the road a little bit. I know when you're switching from a 250 to a 450, the road form's completely different in both classes as well. I believe the 450 road usually gets a bit choppier than the 250 one does. 250 tends to smooth out a bit. Marley going down on the outside, 2 people running into the back of him. How has Yoku ended up all the way over there just from a little collision like that? That is crazy. Trying to find a safe place to rejoin. He does so just in front of Melee. So we've got a lot of people here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 people all battling over the P8 position right now. All on the Yamis. Crispy going down. Crispy had a really good start in this race. He's fallen off just a little bit towards the back end of this race, but not an easy circuit to try and navigate for these boys. Davey working his way through a bit better than the last race as well. He's in 15th. Not as good of a race for Mr. Breezy. I might have cursed him a little bit because he had an amazing comeback race in Moto number 1. And he had a really good start in Moto number 2, but it just hasn't seemed to have gone that way for him. Maybe just not vibing with the road too much. Again, it could come down to bike setup. His bike might be kicking him about a bit too much for him to feel comfortable on the track. But doubling around to that inside really nicely. Stepping down. Is he sending or is he checking up? He's checking up. Nice smart riding from the young Breezy right there. So he's circulating in 16th. We've got the boy in 17th. So some of these Club MX boys, not as good of a second motor as their first one. They might have to go back to their mechanic, Mr. Rolls, get him to tweak a few things on the forks, ready for next round. And where's Tiger's dropped off a bit. Tiger's in 19th right now. And then this is kind of the battle for the 20th position. So the last point-paying position, we've got Ulma and Pumba next to each other again, the teammates. They've done the same thing in Moto 1. Then we've got Kazi gaining a position there, going along on the double. Ulma go. A lot of boys scrubbing off the right-hand side of the track here and landing in basically the water. So need to keep an eye on that. We've got Tyler choosing to go long on this tabletop and downside in this bump. Going quite well. Rack's a little bit behind him. He's now 7.5 seconds behind. Looks like Cam has caught up to the back of Jake. So let me try and find that battle real quick. There's Aiden. There's Jake. There is Cam. So Cam is up into 5th place. He is disposed of Vibes and he's disposed of JS7 as well. Vibes moving over on Cam in a braking area. Cam's not going to be too happy with that one. Don't know if Vibes meant anything malicious by that. I don't think so. I think he was just trying to get over to his line. Cam choosing to take that inside, which I absolutely love. Moving over on Vibes, moving him over into the bales. That's how you get a position done. Give him no chance when he's stuck in the bales. So passing Vibes on track. He had him on cuts already. He's now onto the back of Jake. So from being in 36th position on lap number 1, we have to give Cam the hard charger award right now because he's up into P5, potentially P4, and then P3 is only 7 seconds off the track from him. So having a really, really good race right now. Aiden and Jake more than 1 place apart. Not right now. They was in Moto 1, to be fair. But yeah, right now they've rejoined. They've attached themselves at the hip again. But Cam might put an end to that. Cam might be able to pass one and not the other. Although we have 7.5 minutes plus 2 left to go, so there is still so much time in this race. And again, I think the track has got as beaten up as it possibly can do now at this point. So these boys will know what's rough, know what isn't, and just, I guess, take alternative lines to stay out of the rough stuff. Cam's doing quite a good job of that so far this moto, and I think he's helped himself a bit. The fact that he's had to make so many passes in this race, he's been able to take them other lines and know how the bike's going to react and what it's going to do. Little insides like that, really nice. And the fact that he's exiting that inside early, going over to the right side of the track and still being able to double up that hill is really, really good stuff. Just heads up riding, dissecting the track bit by bit. Some people, like myself, every time they take this inside here, might have just gone left the whole way, and then that is slower. Pumpakasu's gone down, unfortunately, and Cam did make his way around Jake over that scrub jump past the Zero Raceway archway. So he can see ahead of him as well. He can see Aiden right in front of him, just up the road, and that is not a 7-second gap at all. So Aiden's had a bit of a tricky go of it the last lap. So we've got a 9-second lead from first to second. We've then got basically a 50-second lead from second to third. So not as close as the first one was, but on a track that's getting as beaten up as this one is today, it does end up separating the field by quite a lot. Aiden managing to get past Emil fairly easily as he flips and does a cheeky little discotheque on the front wheel. Aiden's going to go down and give that P3 position to Cam. Jake is now going to overtake his brother as well for 4th place, so Aiden gets going again from 3rd down to 5th. And as I said at the start of this race, even when he was in 36th, I can see Cam getting all the way up into 3rd place. Doesn't really matter what happens to these boys, these top 3, they will always find their way back to the top 3. It just depends on what order they go in. And if the flag was to go out right now, it is basically identical to what happened last week, where they all switch positions. You get a first and a third and a first, and a second and a second. So the points won't really change at all. It'll be like a 1-point difference, basically. And, I mean, both, if it was to finish like this, hold on to it, Cam, then both Cam and Tyler beat Rax by 1 point. So we went into this round with it being 20 and 24 points back behind Rax, to it going to be 19 and 23 points behind Rax. And if they do this every round, they're not going to win the championship, unfortunately, because Rax is a little bit too far ahead. We've got 5 rounds left to go after this, and there has been some mistakes at the front. Rax is only 3 seconds behind Tyler right now, so he's going to smell blood. He's going to go after it. He gets around Kazi. Kazi going down there. But one thing that I've noticed about Rax right now, he's not really taking different lines. He's absolutely brute forcing his way through this rough stuff and being absolutely fine with it. So you got to respect it. Like Tyler and Cam maybe getting a bit scared of the rough right now, not wanting to crash, choosing to kind of check up in places, take smoother insides. Doesn't apply to Rax. He's bulldogging his way through, very Tomac-esque, just hitting the rough stuff and hitting it hard and getting it through, no problem at all. We got a crash. Tiger is going on X Games mode now off the side. I think I've seen Tiger off the side of the track more than he's been on it so far this race, and I think it's just bad timing. Each time I've seen him, he's been having a mistake. I'm sure he's had a lot of race that hasn't been off the side of the track. So Rax is gaining quite quickly. Very quickly, I'd have to say. He's gained a second in the first sector by itself. So we're going to actually stay on this for a little bit, because right now there's not any immediate battles going on the track, unless you class Breezy and Pumpakasu battling for P13. But I'm going to keep on this, because every time I seem to go away from the leaders, someone goes down. And with a track as brutal like as this, any crash is just a section away. So again, Rax choosing to go around the outside, Tyler going around the smoother inside line. Rax going from basically outside to outside, trying to carry that momentum as much as he can do under the Zero Raceway arch, our title sponsors for the series. Thank you very much, Zero Raceway. Oh, that back end has kicked out. A few people have done this so far. Will it let me rewind? That's a perfect example to show if I can. Go on, let me go all the way back. Let me go all the way back. Nice. So Rax is trying to turn right here over this bump, and he just turns at the wrong point. Back wheel does not get across the bump properly. Front wheel doesn't get across it properly. Front end knifes, back end responds, and he goes down. Eats the dirt. So you got to be careful. It's very hard to see with how dark the road is as well, which doesn't help things at all. But you can just see that a higher point in the middle, the front end was just about here as he tried crossing over, which is why it knifed on him. So that's going to give Rax a little bit more work to do. Going to give Tyler a little bit of comfort out in front, which I'm sure he'll be very, very happy with. It will allow Tyler to be able to make 1 or 2 extra mistakes before Rax catches right up to him. Nobody reminded me. We're in 450 Moto 2. God, I'm all for this. I apologise, boys. I think I'd be better off not having it on there, because then people would be less confused. But there we go. Tyler. 5 seconds out in front. we have got a lot... Oh, there's a battle for P5 going on right now between Aiden, Vibes, and JS7. That's Cam. Where are these boys? Here we go. We've got JS7 right there. Wait, have we? Aiden's there. And Vibes is there. Watch this battle. It looks like there's some cuts coming into play again. Vibes up the inside. Nothing wrong with that. I'm surprised Aiden still went for that middle. I expected him to filter to the outside. Vibes losing the front end. He survives somehow. That was very, very close. Very close to going down. So these boys have been going back and forth for quite a lot of this race. They separated around the middle, but the start and the back end of this, they've been on top of each other, basically. So we've got Tyler, Rax, Cam, Jake, Aiden, and then Vibes. Where is Jake on the track? Jake's there. That's fine, that's fine. I was just seeing if there's any cuts coming in here. Vibes has about 7 seconds of cuts in this race, so it actually doesn't matter for Aiden if he lets him pass. He's got a lot of time to be able to give away to him. So Aiden's just going to chill in P3 or P5 for right now. JS7 rocking around in 6th place, and then Vibes is actually in 7th, even though he's up the road a little bit because of the cuts. Emil is a lap down, so is the Marley having a good race this race. He's sitting in P8. Again, he had a very, very good start in Moto number 1, dropped back a little bit. He's had a decent start in this one, and he's sitting there. Cooper is in 9th, and then Yoku rounds out your top 10 as he just goes down in the background here. Then got Extreme behind him in 11th. Crispy is in 12th. Breezy is in 13th. Boy in 14th, and the other two Club MX riders are right on top of each other. And then we've got your race leader with the points leader just behind him. That is not a very big gap. Now, these boys have 3 laps to go. Well, another 3/4 this lap, and then 2 more after this. And this is kind of the point last race where Rax started really closing that gap on Cam by the end. So I'm interested to see if he can do the same thing to Tyler in this one. Does Tyler fold to the pressure? This man has won many, many races. He has led many, many championships. He's had a hell of a lot of red plates. So he's used to winning. The issue is he's on a track that is not his preferred type of soil. He's not a big sand enjoyer. He had a little bit of a fall apart during Moto 1 where he could have won that and end up dropping down to 3rd. And now he's got to try and negotiate some lappers with 2 laps to go at the end of this one with the championship leader breathing down his neck. And Rex has already taken it from what was 5.5 seconds to 3 seconds. So there is no question about it. P2 is your fastest man on track right now. He's now choosing to hit the 50-50 grind over the side of that berm. A lot of people have done that today. Very easy to do. And the same thing here as well. Cheeky little K-dub transfer from the mound back onto the track though. Very smoothly done. It didn't lose out on too much time. So again, this lead is going up and down. It's gone from 5.5 to 3, back to 5.5. It just depends on when people are making some mistakes with each other. We do have Jake and Aiden. Where are these boys at? Battling with each other right now for P4. So Cam's gone through. Where are the twins? There they are. Here we go. The boys in red in the air. So Jake's made quite a few mistakes. I think Jake's lost about 18 seconds in the course of the last 2 laps. And Vibes is right on the back of this as well. Now, remember, Vibes has about 7 seconds of cuts compared to these boys. So even if he overtakes them, he has to gap them by quite a long way to actually get the position. Aiden going to the inside, he could have moved Jake off the track there, but choosing to be kind to his own flesh and blood. Don't hate it at all. Got to respect the clean racing. I imagine that if that was your brother taking you out, you'd probably walk into the bedroom after the race and give him a cheeky little headbutt, but these boys keeping it clean. Well, this is probably the best battle on the track that we have right now, so I'm going to stick with it. I just find it weird that they look identical. They wore the same thing as each other at Eekmar out of the airport. They're both the same speed on MX bikes right now. No difference between these two. If it wasn't for the name, you'd think they were the same person. Maybe it is. Maybe it's one man this whole time, just playing on 2 different controllers at the same time. One in his hands, one with his toes. He's all kinds of ambidextrous, using the grippers to use the controller. Look at the numbers. What are we rocking with? 43, 57. Or do you mean like look up really close to the numbers? It's hard when they're moving so quickly. I can't say close enough. Come here, Aiden, please. But I think that Jake has got a little bit more pace than Aiden does, but like I said, on the back end of Moto 1 and the back end of a lot of motos throughout this year, Jake has struggled to kind of close the moto out. There's definitely been mistakes coming through, so that has allowed Aiden to start catching up with him. And these boys have switched about a lot through this race. If you remember, Jake was ahead at the start and then he went down to about P13. I'm ignoring these two battling right now because Where are our leaders? Where are our leaders? Where are our leaders? There he is, right. It's a 1.8 second lead. We have got 1 lap left to go. They're going to go past the mechanic straight, 2 more corners, then they're hitting the finish line. This is a very, very doable gap for Rex to be able to catch up and pass Tyler, which neither Tyler or Cam would be very happy with, because it means Rex comes out of the day extending his points lead on these two by 2 points, I believe. So we're going to see what happens on this last lap. I mean, Rex doesn't care. He's going to go full send. Worst case scenario for him, he's still going to finish second. He has nothing to lose. The pressure is all on this man in white right here, with a notoriously white number plate, which we're used to seeing red quite often on the EU side of things, until this man came along. He got bored of the NA side of things. Wasn't enough competition for him last year. He's come over to the EU side of things. Made a couple of enemies, myself included, but he's just an aggressive racer. We'll see what happens on the back end of this race. One thing is for certain, if these two get near each other, someone is going to be going down. There is no love lost here at all. They're not on the same team at all. I don't think they'll be in the same Discord call as each other, so these boys will be absolutely going for it on this last lap. And I have a feeling that Mr. Tyler might have a second of cuts right now over Rex. So Rex hasn't even got to make the pass, which makes his life all that more easy. He just has to get right up on the booty cheeks of Tyler, and I have a feeling, I mean, he's just quicker. He's quicker everywhere. He's carrying better momentum. He's still choosing to go through the rough stuff, which baffles me that he's managing to make that bike work so well for him. But I have a feeling, as we go across the finish line, even if Tyler crosses in the lead, Rex might secure the victory here. We've got Yoku going a lap down, being a very good lapper, very heads up, giving that inside up to Tyler, no problem at all. What's Yoku going to do here? He chooses to go to the middle. Probably quite difficult for Yoku, knowing where these leaders are going to go. He's got Rex right on his cheeks. Rex is only 0.3 behind now. Surely Yoku's got to look over his shoulder in the area, stay over to the left side of the track. Oh, Yoku goes down. His bike avoids Rex. That's fine. Rex is going to go full send now. There's actually 3 corners left on this track. He needs to gain 0.3 of a second on Tyler. Tyler's going to be looking over his shoulder, absolutely pooping himself. Both of these just have to go full send. Worst case scenario is you finish second. Best case is you go full send and you win it. And I think Rex is just close enough. That looks like less than a second gap to me. Rex goes full send. He downsides it nicely. Goes on the left side of it. Tyler got a better drive to the finish. They go across the line. And Tyler beats him by 0.3 of a second. Rex hits the insta-leave. And Tyler, you boys won't believe me when I say this. That race was won in this very last straight. Tyler chose to play it smart over the wall jump. Chose to downside it smoothly with a triple. Rex went full send, went for the quad. Caused him to get a bigger bounce. Bike rebounded. He had to go on the left side here. Tyler running the absolute limits of the side of the track to stay out the rough stuff. Pulls a couple bike lengths on the last straight. Rex goes across the line. Couldn't get the job done. So well done to Tyler. Him and Cam are both going to gain a point on Rex in this championship. It's going to be a while until we find Mr. Box. He finishes 1 minute and 12 seconds down on his championship rivals. He's going to be upset with it. But seeing the state of that he was in, basically, in lap 1, P3 is the best you can ask for. He's at head of the ride, 36th, through to 3rd. Really good stuff. This track looks like it has beaten everybody up today. You should, like, just random holes like that forming. They need to hit a cheeky track reset after this so we can see just how severe the difference was. Because it's hard to remember what you came from. His handlebars clipping the Bennett and racing Bell right there, causing him to go down. The track is just biting him right all the way out to the very end. So Cam's going to finish in 3rd on the day. He's going to go 1-3. He's going to gain a singular point over Rex. Dark's going to cross the line there. I think he was a lap down. So we got to go further back. Jake seems to have made some more mistakes. So Aiden looks like he's going to finish in a comfortable 4th. It's where he spent most of this race. Jake is right here with Eurus behind him. Marley's there as well. Where's Vibes gone? Oh, Vibes has fallen off a cliff in these last 2 laps. He's had a bit of a stinky one. He's dropped back quite a lot, but again, still 2 top 10s. He'll be happy with that. So Jake's going to go across the line in 5th. Marley is going to come across the line in 6th. I think that's Marley's best result ever, as he gets hella steezy over the finish. We've then got Vibes going across the line in 7th. He's probably going to lose a spot or 2 from cuts. He does. JS7 goes across in 7th. Cooper is in 9th. And I don't know where Cooper is. Unless he just doesn't want to finish the race. He was the last person on the lead lap, so he hasn't got to finish it. I'm hoping... Does he know? Oh. Now it says Cooper's finished. Maybe you just get to retire from the race on the last lap. You haven't got to do it. So, there you go, boys. Tyler is going to be your overall winner on the day. Tied with Cam, but a 3-1 does beat a 1-3, and then Rax is going to come home in third. I'm going to do a quick little fly around on the track for one last time, so you guys can see what these boys have been riding with. First turn, going away a little bit. That actually looks sick. That actually looks such a better rut than a completely flat track. So, we have got some very, very jagged bumps that these boys have been having to try and negotiate today. And it's as simple as getting your front wheel a bike width to the left or to the right to get it completely wrong. So middle or outside, pretty beaten up in these corners. Same with this corner here as well. Notice a few people even going as far as going to the middle or to the tight end side in that corner. These boys land... I mean, you can see how dark the road is. I think that's what makes it quite difficult to see where you're going a lot of time as well. The rough stuff is very hidden amongst all of this. All of the lines getting used in this corner right here, and you can see just how deep the road is. And if you get a little bit on the wrong side of this stuff, so if you're taking this line right here, if your front end is here rather than here, you're going to crash. The front end's going to knife out from underneath you. We saw Aiden have a little mistake exiting this corner before where the front end tucked and flipped him over the bars. Look how brutal this outside is right now. I'm going to keep my camera all the way down on the floor so you can see how much it's moving up and down and how rough the track is. Just square edges galore. And bear in mind, this is on 0.07 erode. So petition for the tyres to not be quite as effective as digging down in the ground, please. I need an update at some point on that. This straight, fairly straightforward, nothing to catch you out here. I was very surprised that all of these were still doubling to this middle line, even really deep into the race, because I was struggling to do it on a perfectly flat track. We've then got all kinds of square edges and bumps. I did see Cam actually going high on this wall, basically jumping from here and landing here, like wall riding and jumping over some of these bumps. That looked quite cool to see. And then you've got all the rough stuff at the bottom here, making it almost impossible to hit this wall jump at the very, very end. Nice, smooth, straight right here. The road, nothing to write home about. And then you get into the deep stuff like here. And this is the issue you got. As you can see, the bikes compress into this hole, and then they uncompress, and it's going up. So if you're leaning the bike over here at the same point and the bike goes light, you just flop over onto the ground. So you got to really you got to stand up, try and lean forwards to push that front wheel down into the ground. But that's probably why you see a lot of people going towards this outside on the back end of this race, just to make life easier for himself. And it's probably why a lot of the outsides were still getting used at the end of Moto 2, just for safety. You know, like it might be a little bit rougher sometimes, but the corner's not as tight. You haven't got to ask as much of the bike. And really, this track, by the end of the racing, might be in the worst condition that we've had out of all 5 rounds so far. I definitely think it got rougher and more brutal than Sardinia did. To begin with, not as rough as Sardinia, but the fact that there's more choppy rough on this track to begin with, rather than the rolling sand rollers. Good stuff. Yes, yeah, so a 2-2 doesn't beat a 3-1 or a 1-3. So, Tyler and Cam both get 45 points, and Rax only got 44 points, because you get the extra point for winning the race. So that's your top 3. So good stuff. Bit interesting Tyler's getting away with that on the start. I don't think I saw it properly, Cam. Did it get a bit dirty? I'm happy to go back and have a little bit of a rewatch, getting a bit of an action replay on the start. Let's try and find it real quick. My issue is a lot of people's bikes go invisible on the start because of the bandwidth. Let's have a little check-in, see what happened. So, someone told me, okay, you rewind like this. This isn't like Minecraft quality right now. So Cam is currently upside down. I can understand why Cam is unhappy about the start, because, going from 36th all the way to 3rd. How is Pumpakasu's airborne? I didn't see that off the start. Pumpakasu is in the air. All in Peter Pan. Go a little bit further back. A little bit further back again. Pumpakasu's a passenger at this point. Jesus Christ, what's going on here? Oh, I don't know, Cam. I don't know if there's anything malicious there, because he was... Oh, actually, no, the more we rewind it... No, I'll be honest. He's this far ahead on our screen. He's probably about here on his screen, so I think he has free reign to move left a bit to open up the corner. The issue is, that's then meant that he's taken Pumpakasu's front wheel, who's then got Sketchy and gone over into you, and then got over into Rax. Oh, actually, no, he didn't hit you the first time. So he's gone over into Rax from a wobble. He's hit Rax. The Belgian netcode has combined with the American netcode, he's gone airborne, he's pinged across from right to left, he's hit you, he's put you on his back and carried you. You're going on X Games mode, you're backflipping your way through. Yeah, not a great start there, unfortunately. A lot of chaos going on. But to be fair, Cam, fair play. You've gone from 36th to 3rd in that race. I know it feels like you probably got quite hard done by, but you've done well to come back to that point. And you've still gained a point in the championship on racks as well. So it's you got to look on the bright side as well. So good stuff, boys. A very good day of racing. Again, these tracks have created some excellent racing conditions for us so far this year. And whilst I would have wanted to race this track up to the end of Moto 1, I think by the end of Moto 2, I probably would have been over it, because that is brutal. But, and this is a big but, and I cannot lie, I would so much rather the pro riders race on these beaten up tracks that take the most skill to get around than be flat tracking on one-lined AMS Supercross tracks. And I will die on that hill. So, thank you everybody for watching. I do appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I will be back same time next week. At least I don't think we've got a week off or anything. Same time next week for my hometown race of Matterley Basin, where I think the UK boys are probably going to be hoping to put it on the top step of the box. And for people like Aiden, people like Jake, people like Breezy, all of the other UK guys that are just outside of a podium position so far, that could be their time to shine. You know, home soil, put it on the box, see how it goes. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. Catch you guys next time.